Hello and welcome back to the Bakagaijinshow. I'm your lovable rascal of a host, Zeke Freaking. With me, as always, is my incompositous co-host, Kevin Fultner.
Again, you have chosen a word that I am
Uh-huh.
unsure of the meaning of.
Oh, that's because it's Latin. I don't expect you to know Latin.
To be fair, most people don't.
Yeah,
You know, the whole
incompositous.
dead language thing.
Yeah. Incompositus. It means disorderly, lack of regulation.
Oh God, does that describe me to a T? Holy shit.
Yeah, I got it right for once.
Yeah. And that also describes
Yeah.
my week because holy shit, I did nothing this week. I was
Whoa.
I don't know what was up with me. I think I was just tired and depressed. Again.
Mhm. Tell us about all the nothing you did.
I mean, okay, it's not completely nothing.
Right.
I finished season 1 of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
That's kind of it, though.
Tell us about the texture of the bed sheets once you were laying upon them in a depressed stupor.
Soft.
Yeah,
Quite nice.
that's good. Nobody likes hard, itchy, scratchy bed sheets. Unless you're a military brat or something.
Now, it's different from itchy and scratchy bed sheets, which is a brand.
Yeah, we had the bunks that we had at summer camp were described to us as not quite military standard, but close.
Military adjacent standard.
Yeah, very stiff sheets, very rough, scratchy blankets.
Yeah.
Of course, you could also just bring your own blankets, so, you know.
Now, thankfully, no longer depressed, no longer just exhausted all the time, so we're good.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Cool. That's good. Kind of hard to do a podcast like that. What do you feel about this, Kevin? I don't care.
Hey,
We're all
it's
gonna
me!
die someday. I didn't watch any anime because I'm gonna die someday, and no one will remember me.
Damn, it's like you're peering into my brain.
Yeah, see, you can't do a podcast like that. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work, because, what am I gonna say about that? Yeah, same, bro.
I guess that does give me a good idea, though. What if depression manifested itself as a podcast in your mind? So it's just like voices in your head going, "Hello, welcome back to the Depression Podcast. Today's episode: How you'll never amount to anything."
I'm your host, Existential Dread.
You can call me EXD for short.
I like that.
Or don't. I don't really have the will to care. That's funny. That should be in a Psychonauts game, actually.
Oh my god. Psychonauts 3. We need to tell Tim Schafer.
Yeah, the Depression Podcast. Oh, that'd be so good.
I like that idea. A lot.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So nothing, Kevin.
Nothing.
You've been doing? Nothing. What was the most exciting thing you ate in the past week?
Chicken tenders.
I also had some chicken tenders.
Yeah. These ones,
yeah, pretty good.
These were from Texas Roadhouse.
Mine were from Tyson Anytizers, but they were in an air fryer, so they were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Tyson Anytizers, those are actually pretty good.
Bitch, I'll go for those Anytizer, okay? I don't even know what two words they're. I guess it's like anytime and appetizer.
Yeah.
Or the word, yeah. That's weird. You ever think marketing people just get paid to make up stupid shit?
That's literally what marketing people do. They are literally paid to make up stupid shit.
Yeah.
Just look at Super Bowl commercials. Those have millions of dollars poured into 30 seconds worth of nonsense.
I remember my mom was telling me about a guy my dad used to work with, where his whole fucking job was basically to come up with slogans that they were not going to use.
Oh god, that
he would just eventually he got laid off too, and he was so angry about it, and we're like, you didn't fucking do anything.
God, I'm reminded of this fucking restaurant. God, I forget the name of it, but it was this old kind of deli sandwich shop similar to Arby's. And at one point, they had a slogan that was literally just, oh, it was Rax. And the slogan was just, Rax, you can eat here.
Someone had the Depression podcast playing in their head.
Unsurprisingly, Rax filed for bankruptcy a year later.
You can eat here. You don't have to, though.
It's not, like, required of you to eat here, but we'd prefer it if you did.
Yeah.
You could go to the place down the street. That's, like, probably slightly cheaper. But, like, I don't know. We're a restaurant. We serve food. What do you want?
Yeah.
The thing is, their spokesperson at the time actually spoke like that.
That's great.
It was just this massive marketing fuck up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it didn't go well for them. Like, at all.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I feel bad for the Don Tequila, because I've never actually eaten there, but I've used their bathroom, like, 50 times.
God, how... Man, how bad is your restaurant when the only thing you can say is like, man, I don't know how the bathroom... It's like, man, I don't know how the food is, but their bathrooms are amazing.
Well, the only reason I go to their bathrooms, I went to their bathrooms so much is because they were, like, down the way from where I get my haircuts, so...
Hey man, do you know this restaurant? Yeah, dude, I shit there all the time!
Yeah, well, it was a convenient restroom because it was near the haircut place.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
No, I mean, that's a good reason, to be fair.
Yeah. Proximity. Sometimes I'd take their free lollipops.
Reminds me of how I, like, always took the free candy at the front office for my apartment complex back in Arizona when I was, like, in middle school.
Yeah, it reminds me of the story. I don't know if I was on the podcast and I told about the mattress store.
Yeah, you mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy in the mattress store who, whenever he'd go to the back room, I would just walk in the store and take the candy out of the free candy bowl, and then like watch from my car as he like stormed back out in confusion. And I did that like a dozen times.
Zeke Freak, local candy cryptid.
Yeah. That guy is psychologically scarred.
Congratulations.
He lies awake at night. Think about that. He probably made post to Reddit. I haven't seen about it. The candy kept disappearing. The candy kept disappearing.
Then you come in. It's like, it was me. Sorry, dude.
No, I'll leave him to stew in that.
But we'll know. We'll know.
You and the listeners will know. They will know. These are the kind of secrets you get by listening to the Baka Gaijin show.
Yes.
In-depth secrets to answers to questions you never even needed to know. You never asked. Yeah.
Such as
that should be our tagline.
Such as who kept stealing the candy at the mattress store.
Yeah. Answers. That should be our tagline. Baka Gaijin show. Answering the questions you never asked.
You know what? Sure.
It kind of fits, doesn't it?
It does, actually.
Yeah.
It just sums up our entire MO.
Yeah. Also, close second runner-up, Baka Gaijin show. You'll never be the same afterwards.
Baka Gaijin show. You can listen to it.
No, we're not that desperate.
Yeah, we don't want to file for bankruptcy in a year.
Our entire shtick, Kevin, is not caring if anyone's listening to us or not. That's kind of ruined if we beg people to listen.
No. That's the thing. We're saying they can, but you know, it's like it's their choice.
But they know what's
really.
You have to. Just like the restaurant, they know what's really going on. Though.
Yeah.
You know, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. So yeah. So here's the thing: we're either going to be super e-beggy, or we're going to be aloof and not care. There's no in between, Kevin.
This is very
Baka
true.
Gaijin show, a podcast of extremes.
That's another good one.
Yep. Ah, so many. If only we had people to market to.
God damn it.
Oh God, we're the guys that come up with the slogans we don't use.
Yeah, hire me.
Yeah.
Or him.
Probably him. It's my life's dream to get into one of those redundant positions where I don't have to do anything.
God, it reminds me of this story I heard one time of like somebody who wanted to get into game design, but all they wanted to do was just draw designs of different guns and weapons all day.
So they want to be an artist?
Well, like, not even like they wanted to be like a concept guy, quote unquote, where it's just like he sits in like a room and draws vague.
So a concept artist. So a concept artist.
Yeah, but apparently he wasn't good at it.
Oh, well, that's a problem. They kind of want you to be good at things.
Yeah. Holy shit, children! Can they not?
Yeah. My personal dream job.
I just heard Ash go, sorry.
My personal dream job that actually does exist is I want to be the White House movie projectionist.
Oh, you could do that.
There's one dude who's the official White House movie projectionist, and there's no regular hours. He's just on call. If the president wants to watch a movie, you just got to show up and play a movie.
God.
In the theater.
How many times has he had to play porn for the president?
Now that I think about it. Bonus? I don't know. I guess that depends on the president, doesn't it?
It also depends on the porn.
What do you think Biden's fetishes are?
I don't want to think about that.
But I do want to make that the title, maybe. Like, I guess that's a job that does fluctuate depending on who's the president, because some presidents might be, like, avid movie buffs, and some might not care, so...
It's like, I'm going to watch Friends all day.
Yeah. Like...
Set up my Roku.
No, the busiest person in the White House is absolutely Biden's official ice cream delivery guy. 100%.
Chocolate chip.
I actually don't know... I think I've only ever seen Biden just eat plain vanilla.
Yeah.
I don't know though. That might just be the clips. That might just be what they catch on camera.
You see, Biden has the ice cream. Trump had the McDonald's.
That's true. No, he also had the Diet Coke.
You mean the Diet Cock? I mean Diet Cock. I mean Diet Cock. I mean Diet Cock. I mean Diet Cock. See, what I love about that is that the Diet Coke button feels like something that would just be like a rumor, but it's actually true. It sounds like a parody of what Trump would do, but it's actually something Trump did.
Yeah. Reminds me of how I've been thinking about this the past few days. It reminds me of how Camp Laszlo, it has the kind of bullshit ending you would like see on a TV Tropes YMG page. You know, that's sort of
kind of a creepy pasta kind of ending.
Yeah, but that's the real ending.
It's the real ending. They went dark fanfic bullshit ending for the actual ending of Camp Laszlo, and it's amazing.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Apparently, it was just Tom Kenny's offhanded suggestion, and Joe Murray was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds good."
Of course, it was Tom Kenny that suggested it.
Yeah.
It's like, look, this man plays a high-pitched talking sponge for 25 years. He's gonna get some weird ideas. I love his story about how SpongeBob's voice came about because it's based off of a disgruntled Christmas elf worker at a fucking mini mall.
That's funny.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Christmas shit, I wouldn't work.
He doesn't know. That guy doesn't know what he inspired.
It's great.
You never know how you're going to influence someone's life and then subsequently influence all of popular culture for decades to come. It just happens.
That voice clip is the only official voice clip in existence where you can actually hear the official voice of SpongeBob swearing.
Yep.
Well, and then there's like the Saturday Night Live sketch where it's like SpongeBob gets detained because he's like anti-American.
Yeah, oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
And you want me to pee in Osama bin Laden's mouth?
Perfect.
Oh, man. The weird shit I come across on the internet that my brain just... Like, my brain is a repository of just random factoid bullshit that I can just call upon at any given moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Random access memories, I understand.
Yes!
I understand the assignment. Also, it's a great album.
Better than read-only memories. So, considering I have done nothing the last week, have you done anything this last week?
You know I have. Yesterday, I went out to the middle of bumfuck nowhere in farming country.
Ooh.
Because that's where the Department of Health is for some reason.
Why is it? Okay. So what were you doing?
I was getting a replacement vaccine card because I lost mine. Now, the stupid thing is, I did the online form to get one sent in the mail, but it just wasn't showing up. So I went there in person after my haircut to get one, and then what shows up in the mail today, Kevin?
So what do you have? Do you have
another
two?
Fucking yeah, I have two, and since I lost the first one, there's probably a third one in this room somewhere.
Oh man, that's fucking funny.
So yeah, look at me, owner of 2, maybe 3 vaccine cards now.
Possibly 3 vaccine cards.
If I can find that original one, maybe.
Hey man, have you seen my vaccine card collection?
They're gonna be relics one day. People, it's like it's gonna be something people keep in safety deposit boxes and shit. They're gonna show their grandkids like, this is what we did in the olden times. It's kind of like the Auschwitz bands or whatever.
Oh god, yeah.
Except not different implications, but historical value is historical value.
God, that just reminds me of like, oh god, there was like an episode of OSP on like Edgar Allan Poe. And Red mentioned, and like somebody mentioned the fact that it's just like, oh no, wait, I think it was like a different episode. Anyway, one of the hosts mentioned the fact that like a lot of medical practices back in the 1800s and further back was basically just like, oh hey, it looks like you have ghosts in your blood. You should do cocaine about it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, people are like, people are sometimes like, what time period would you time travel to if you could? I'm like, none. I do not want to live in the time where surgery meant, let's just get him some whiskey and have him bite on a plank of wood. I don't want to live in that time, Kevin.
Somehow that constituted medical practice.
I mean, how else were they gonna, like that? That's what surgery was before anesthetics. It's just, we'll give you some whiskey, bite on this plank of wood, we'll chain your arms down, try not to move too much.
Oh, sorry, I mean...
Yeah, there we go. It's the wood. It muffles it, Kevin.
Exactly.
Really, it's for everyone else's benefit, so they don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, it really is. And the whiskey is so that it kind of dulls the pain, but not really.
As much as whiskey can.
Look, whiskey dulls the pain in the soul. It doesn't dull the pain in the body.
It dulls the trauma you'll feel afterwards.
Exactly!
Yeah, it just makes you less emotional about it, really.
You're so drunk, you don't care what you're feeling.
Exactly.
It's not that you can't feel it, it's that you don't care about it.
Just, oh man, the invention of anesthetic, game changer, changed the game, Kevin.
Absolutely did. Can't imagine a world without anesthetics.
Yeah.
It would probably be really loud because everyone's screaming.
Yeah. I mean, people get nervous enough about surgeries now with anesthetic. Imagine before anesthetic.
Oh god, that just makes me think about like all those stories of people. It's like there's a haunted abandoned hospital down the street, and you can hear wailing coming from it. It's like that's just the ghost of the people who were there when they were like needed to get literally anything done.
Yeah, hospitals used to involve a lot more screaming than they currently do.
They really did.
Yeah.
Holy shit. The advancement of medical technology. Wow.
That's crazy.
And by advancement, I mean the creation of literally any medical technology.
Yeah, we can cure depression with magnets now. It's crazy.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
Fucking magnets. How do they work? I like how what the fuck is that guy's name? The head juggalo or whatever.
I know.
Yeah, king of the juggalos, whatever. I like how he was one of the first public figures to be like, "Yo, get vaccinated, y'all." So I'm like, okay, good. He doesn't know how magnets works, but he does understand vaccines. That's good.
Fucking the insane clown posse of all people. Violent J?
Yes, Violent J. Violent. Yeah. I think one of them. I think there's like a few founders, but it might have been Violent J.
Yeah.
Yeah. So magnets, vaccines.
I love how the main two people of ICP go by the names Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, with past members being D Lyrical, Kid Villain, Johnny Kick Jazz, and Grease E. What are these names?
I'll tell you, they're speaking the language of the gods, Kevin.
I guess? The fuck?
They're speaking the language of gods.
Associated acts: Psychopathic Writers, Dark Lotus, Super Villains, The Killjoy Club, The Bloody Brothers, and The Looney Goons.
They're just out there living their best life.
They really are. And
yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, shout out to our juggalo brethren. Yeah, it's like brother and javelin. Brethren. God, now I want a javelin.
Why would you want a javelin?
I don't know, to joust righteously.
You know what? Fair. Bring back the Crusades. Yeah. Don't bring back the Crusades. That's a bad idea.
Have you never wanted to joust, Kevin?
I always did think jousting looked really, really badass.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty cool. Don't try it with cars, though. Remember that? Do you ever watch 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yes, I remember the exact one you're talking about. The fucking car jousting one. God damn it.
Car jousting. Man, sometimes I miss 1,000 Ways to Die. But they got to 1,000, so I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of set a hard limit with that.
Man, that show was really fucking stupid, but I really don't care. It was fun.
I don't care if 75% of them were made up. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, it was mostly bullshit, but it was fun bullshit. Let's be real.
Yeah, also, fun drinking game to play with your friends. Like, which one's real? Which one's fake? Oh,
Let's Google it!
We should do that at some point.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yes, I want that.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold on. Let me Google, see where you can actually watch 1,000 Ways to Die. Hold on.
That's a good question. These are the questions.
Oh god, is it not straight? No, okay. It's on Vudu for like $2 an episode, I think?
Ugh.
Fuck.
One of these deals.
Yeah, just pirate it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Are there box sets?
Maybe? Let me... It'd probably
turns
be
out
on
there's
like DVD.
Turns out there's not 1,000 ways to watch it.
Yes. 1,000 Ways to Die, complete series DVD set. It does exist.
Gotta give me some of that action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I'd have fun with that.
Yeah. I mean, there's 1,000 Ways to Die. There's so many.
There's so many.
Fond memories.
Anyway. From the days of yore.
Yeah.
When Spike TV was actually fun to watch.
I do have fond memories of Spike TV. Yeah.
Remember that like 1 month where they just did like a month of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies?
I was not around for that. But that sounds like a thing they would do.
Yep, they absolutely did it.
Yeah.
It started Redneck in his Van Damme van. Damn.
That's funny. It's like the Naruto Hundo, but for John Van Damme.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, any long marathon to me is just the Naruto hundo of whatever.
It's the Naruto hundo of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
A sentence no one will understand. Yeah. Things I've been doing. I played some video games since last time.
Ooh.
As usual. Yeah. I beat Metro 2033 Redux. Unless I said that last episode, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yep. Good game. No, I think I did say it because I went on that whole spiel and we talked about how The Witcher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so what I finished since last week though is I did finish the original Crisis.
Okay. You kind of finished it.
I finished it as much as the game would allow me to. I got ghosted. The final boss just didn't show up. Just gone. Not there.
Just decided.
Absent.
He's not even returning your calls. What the fuck?
Yeah, fucking ghosted me.
Imagine being left on red by the final boss of a video game. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. So apparently that's a pretty common bug with Crisis Remasters. Sometimes the final boss just doesn't show up. And I did all the I restarted, I reloaded, it just nothing worked, and I didn't want to. The last chapter is kind of slow and tedious. I didn't want to replay it for the hope that it might spawn, so I just called it quits there. But I beat it, damn it! I beat it as much as it let me.
Yeah, you kind of just texted me. You were just like, Kevin, the final boss didn't show up. Which is such a weird thing to just randomly get texted in the middle of the night at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And you were just like, do I just throw it on the pile? And I'm like, at this point, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's not really the pile so much as it is the neon alley.
Yeah, the curb.
Throw it on the curb side, yeah.
Yeah. We're spicing it up, Kevin.
2022, it's a new year.
Yeah, nutmeg. Remember that craze where teenagers snorting nutmeg?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
God, reminds me.
How would you do that?
Reminds me of how many.
It tastes better in the mouth, you know.
Reminds me of how people used to fucking get jacked up on cilantro or something. God.
Yeah, I have the cilantro gene. That'd be nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it tastes like soap. Yeah. We just one night in the kitchen, we randomly decided to test that, and me and my sister both have the soap gene. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Does it run in the family?
Apparently, my dad doesn't have it, so I don't know. But we just ate some, or we put some in our mouth, and it took like 15 seconds or whatever, but the soap feeling eventually did come. It was like, yeah. So none of that, none of the devil's lettuce.
That's the real devil's lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
Cilantro.
Yep.
Why would you make an herb and it tastes like soap to some people, but not everyone? What the fuck is this?
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
How dare you curse me?
Yeah. Hard stance, Kevin. Hard stance. I don't think Crisis 1 has aged very well.
To be fair, it was groundbreaking when it came out in 2007, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it ages well today, 15 years later.
Yeah, here's my problems with it, Kevin. Here's my problems with it. First, you move so fucking slow.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's a nitpicky complaint, but it really does just compound everything. It just slows the pace of everything. If you're not sprinting, your movement speed is just insufferably slow. And it makes the game feel kind of sluggish and reactionary, and it's weird. Other problem, I don't like how much the enemies blend into their surroundings. Maybe they were going for more of a sim vibe with the first one, but they just don't stand out visually.
Yeah.
And even though I played it on PS5, and even though it is 60 FPS, it's still a little hitchy sometimes.
Man, you're
Like,
having a lot of issues with just like random games that are supposed to be 60F being like a little hitchy and like kind of weird. Like, you've been having that issue a lot, I've noticed.
Have I?
Yeah, you've mentioned it with like a few games.
I feel like that's just selective bias because I'm not talking about the ones that are like super smooth.
Maybe, I guess.
Like Blue Fire, super smooth. I'm playing Crisis 2 now, and that's buttery smooth. But like just the original, which is so. The story of why Crisis is the way it is always so funny to me because Crytek just made a very bad prediction about where computers were going to go.
Yeah.
Because the way Crisis, the reason why Crisis is the way it is because Crytek figured the future of computing was going to be fewer cores but faster, when it actually ended up being more cores but slower.
Yeah. Yeah, multi-threaded, multi-core processing is kind of the current thing.
Yeah. So Crisis is a game made for computers that don't exist, is the problem.
Yeah, it's a game that favors very strong single-threaded performance, and that's the real issue with it.
Yeah. Also, the latter part of the game where you're fighting the alien robot drones, and it's just the feedback isn't great.
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip. Here's a pro tip about FPSs and robot enemies. You can't skimp on the feeling of the feeling of hits. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of games when they have robotic enemies, they don't give the same feedback they do to their like organic counterparts, and that's a mistake. It doesn't feel good when you shoot into something and it doesn't feel like, and you hit it, but you don't like feel it,
Yeah, like you need to make the enemy like stagger or have like an actual response to give the player good feedback. Yeah, maybe that's not quote unquote realistic, but it's good game design philosophy. I
feel like some games with robotic enemies do strike a good balance of that.
Some of them do,
yeah. I don't think Crisis 1 is terrible or anything. As a piece of history, I enjoyed going through it, but it is just kind of sluggish and whatever. Now, I did start and played a few hours of Crisis 2, which I played a little bit of back on PS3, and man, I really like Crisis 2 now that it runs good. Here's the thing though, is that like people, I don't get Crisis fans that like don't like everything after the first game, because I think Crisis 2 is better in almost every way. Like, yeah, the graphics are technically a downgrade, but it still looks really nice, and in my opinion, it has a much more defined art style. I also think just ruined New York is just a more visually interesting setting. Like, I think the island in the first game is boring as sin.
It's iconic for how uniconic it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like everyone remembers it, but like there's nothing notable about it. It's just a fucking island.
It's like, oh boy, it looks exactly like the same island that I explored in the first two Far Cry games. Great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can do that well, but I feel like Crisis is the most bland version of that, because they were more focused on look at how many petals the ferns have.
Look at how
not
many
petals, but
the ferns have.
It's not petals. It's, I don't know what ferns, leaves, I guess. You know what I mean? They were too busy getting the island to look realistic that it doesn't look stylized or like artistic in any way. It just looks like an island, and that was impressive in its own right. But like looking back, it's just like, it sure doobido. Whereas I think the ruined, the New York in the process of being ruined is actually much more visually interesting, especially since it's not apocalyptic yet. The apocalypse is happening now, which is kind of unique, actually. You don't like it's more like a disaster movie than anything.
Yeah.
Which leads to some nice set pieces.
Yeah, there aren't actually a whole. Yeah, come to think of it, there aren't actually a whole lot of like big AAA games that take place during an active like apocalypse happening, like the apocalypse unfolding as like a disaster. Like it's either post-apocalypse or post-post-apocalypse, or like right before the apocalypse and you're trying to stop the not a whole lot of games actually take advantage of the apocalypse in the here and now.
Yeah, because it's hard. Is the thing. I feel like what was impressive about Crysis 2 at release, and I think what ages better than Crysis 1, is the fact that it does do that, where like, you know, you see bridges collapse and buildings collapse, and it's like, you know, like set pieces of like a disaster sort of happening as you play, and that's a lot more visually interesting, and I feel like, I don't know, I just like it better. Also, like at the time, people were like, "Oh, they it's all consolitis now. They made it too console friendly." But I'm like, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do in the first you can't do in the second. I think you have basically all the same options. They're just laid out differently. And I feel like some of the streamlining made sense. Like, I think the energy system works a lot better in 2 than it does in 1.
Yeah.
You also aren't fucking made of paper mache anymore, so that's cool.
You know, one of my favorite pieces of trivia regarding Crysis is actually about the Japanese version, where the AI voice for your nanosuit is Norio Wakamoto.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have this like super manly voice going maximum speedo, maximum armor.
That's cool. You know, in the first game, you can actually choose whether you want a masculine or feminine voice for the armor. That's interesting.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why that's there, but it's neat.
Which, bringing up Norio Wakamoto, that just reminds me of how, like, comparing anime that's been dubbed into English where Wakamoto did the Japanese voice acting is so funny. Like, there's a scene in Code Geass where, like, in the English version, Emperor Charles is just like, Lelouch! Like, you know, saying Lelouch's name, you know.
Lelouch!
Meanwhile, in the Japanese version, Wakamoto, Lelouch!
Yeah. That's funny. I do like Michael McConaughey's Emperor, though. It's pretty good.
It is really good. It is really good.
Mm-hmm. Old news, what of it? It's like, Father, my mother is dead. Old news, what of it?
Just so blasé about it. It's like, yeah, bitch, I know. I'm the one who did
it. You really sought an audience with me to tell me that?
Damn, kid, you really thought you had something.
Oh, not to diss a shit again. It's still the funniest fucking screen cap in all of anime.
It is. It's so good.
Not to diss shit again.
Just the pure disappointed face.
It just matches so perfectly with that particular, like, because that face at the same time. It's just it's a cosmic coincidence, and it's so great.
It's
great. They did not know what they were creating. It's the real genius. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm now going through Crysis 2. I'm just biding my time until Dying Light 2 comes out.
Which, that's coming out soon. February?
February 4th, yeah.
Yeah, February is when your game is coming out. I actually have a game that's been confirmed to come out in March that I'm looking forward to. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh, yeah? Is that confirmed for March? I thought it was still like Q2.
Nope, it is confirmed March 25th.
That's the same day as Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. We'll both be excited about a thing.
Yeah!
Yeah!
I'm actually really, really excited for Kirby, for like the new Kirby game. It just...
Yeah.
Nintendo released a new trailer showing off different copy abilities and like the co-op and the expansiveness of the different levels, the different locales you can visit and shit. God, it's an actual 3D Kirby adventure. I'm so fucking stoked!
Finally, they're throwing some respect on the Kirby name.
It looks really good.
Yep.
God.
I feel like
Kirby has a gun now.
Yeah, I like the direction they're going because I feel like after they gave, I think it started with the big blow up success of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But now they're like like they made Metroid Dread a thing, and that's been supposedly a huge success.
Yep.
And now Kirby's getting like they're looking to all their other franchise potential and being like, hey, wait a minute, can we Breath of the Wild all of this shit? Can we have a renaissance of all our, because the Switch is just so wildly successful that now they're actually looking to their other like I feel like in the Wii U era, like they didn't have the luxury of like doing a thing like Metroid Dread,
Yeah.
like they had to play things a bit more safe and rely on the big boys or whatever, but like now
and even then with the bigger franchises, they had to play it super safe.
Yeah. But now that the Switch is such a runaway success and they have such a huge install base, they're like, well, maybe it's time to give Kirby the game he deserves.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest issues I've had with Kirby for a long time, is that I feel like the franchise has kind of been coasting for a decade. Beginning with, like, the 2000s were kind of a wild era for Kirby, because you had like the Game Boy Advance games, one of which was a remake of the NES the NES Kirby's Adventure, and the other one was like a pseudo Metroidvania with like co-op elements to it, which was like really experimental for the time. And the only console Kirby game was fucking Kirby Air Ride, which is a racing game that you play with one button.
Yeah.
But then like there was a lull period, and then like Kirby's Return to Dreamland came out, and that was a huge success. But then after that, it just felt like the Kirby franchise coasted for a full decade on just being Return to Dreamland again, but slightly different, which some of those games were really good, admittedly, but it always felt like the design of Kirby was being hampered simply due to the fact that this is what people expect out of Kirby now. This is what was successful that one time, so let's just keep doing it over and over. Like it just,
as an outsider, it always felt like the Kirby franchise lacked a real consistent identity.
It really did, and Forgotten Land brings this really great sense of ingenuity and creativity with it, being this full 3D Kirby adventure. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
Like, the locales in this game are so fucking creative and gorgeous, honestly. This is looking to be, like, one of the best-looking Switch games to date. Like, it's up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly a direction to go. A smart direction to go. I would have preferred it if they went harder in the hand-drawn 2D Metroidvania route, because of course I would.
Yeah.
But this is fine. You know, okay, here's the thing. Here's what I think, Kevin. Here's what I think.
What do you think?
We can make Kirby a 3D platformer, but we got to bring back Wario Land and make that our Metroidvania.
You may have an idea there.
Yeah, like because we got to bring back the animation of WarioWare Shake It or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, Shake
Wario,
It.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing though. Because the entire thing about like the Wario Land games is how like Wario can't technically die in the games, and like depending on what you do and where you go and like how you actually play the game, Wario like has different abilities or different like things he can do to, you know, kind of traverse the levels uniquely. And I feel like that entire gameplay concept would work really well in a kind of pseudo Metroidvania style style gameplay structure.
Yeah.
Also, Wario has almost strictly been a bit player in his own franchise, WarioWare.
Yeah.
So, let's bring Wario back to the forefront and make him an actual protagonist again. Like,
yeah.
Bring Wario Land back, yeah.
Yeah. I just want more hand-drawn things. I really do.
Hand-drawn 2D video games look really pretty, to be fair.
Yeah.
Wario Land Shake It is my favorite anime.
Yeah. Right. What the fuck was I talking about? I feel like we got
games you've been playing?
Right. No, right. I was saying I'm biding my time until Dying Light 2 comes out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Soon. I pre-ordered the super chocolatey fudge coated ultra edition ultimate super awesome special sauce
Yeah, you
version.
did that and you were like, 3 weeks!
Yeah. I'm excited. You know, I'm just so annoyed by the just unwarranted pessimism surrounding this game, though.
Why?
I don't know. I can only attribute it to racism, honestly.
Why racism?
Well, because people are like, Cyberpunk was a dud, and they're also Polish, so, you know. I'm just like...
Nationalist. I would call that nationalist.
No, it's like the opposite of that. It's anti-nationalist, against one nation in particular.
Against one nation, the Polish in particular.
Yeah, one dud and suddenly the Polish can't make video games. Okay.
The next thing you're going to tell me is the PS5 doesn't have any games.
Well, here's the that's a joke, but also I think that the real thing is, and something I wanted to bring up on the show that I tweeted about last night, which is that anti-pre-order culture has gotten so fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's so annoying how people act like you're a fucking retard for being excited for anything anymore.
God, I completely agree. Like, everybody is so irony poisoned and just so against any kind, like, okay. People take the whole, anti-capitalist thing way too fucking far. And it's just like, you can't enjoy anything as long as it's a product of capitalism. Everything's a fucking product of capitalism, you fucking stooge. It's your fucking problem. Let people... Look, I know. That comic, let people enjoy things. Sometimes that comic is right.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of people use that comic wrong, but, like, fuck's sake, people, let me enjoy my things that make me happy. And you should find some things that make you happy, too. Who gives a shit if it's a fucking, product of fucking capitalism? Just find something that makes you happy and just enjoy it, okay? Stop trying to police what other people are allowed to enjoy.
Here's this might be a ridiculous statement, Kevin, but I think setting the standard that we have to completely restructure global society before we're allowed to find enjoyment in anything to be a bit of a high bar.
A bit, just a bit.
A little bit of a high bar. I would like to enjoy my life while I'm living it in any way that I can.
And yet you participate in society. I am very smart.
So curious. Very curious. But like specifically the anti-pre-order crowd, or as I like to call them, the Jim Sterling fans. That's half a joke. Yeah, like it's like if I want to look, let me make my own fuck ups, okay? Like if I want to pre-order something, that's my prerogative. I don't need 10 people chewing in my ear telling me about how I'm supporting a bad system or whatever. I don't fucking care. I'll take that. If it looks good to me and I have confidence in the product and the developers, I'll take that risk. And if it doesn't pay off, that's my fault. Okay? It's like, yeah. I let people make their own fucking mistakes. I don't think it's gonna be a mistake. I think the game's gonna be great, and I think people are being fucking stupid.
God, that just
reminds me pessimistic for no reason.
God, that just reminds me of when fucking the Guardians of the Galaxy game was announced back at E3. Everyone was like, "Oh, it looks exactly like fucking Avengers. It's gonna be fucking terrible." And then the game came out and it was amazing, and everyone's like, "Wow, it's actually amazing." And I'm like, I've been saying that since day one.
Yeah, maybe we should lay off on the... Maybe we shouldn't commit to judgments before we actually play things. How about that?
Just a bit.
I'm not saying you can't make statements, but don't commit to them.
Yeah.
It's fine to express concern, but at a certain point, it just becomes obnoxious pessimism that's completely unfounded. Here's a little secret about game developers. Most of them are trying to make good things. Sometimes they don't succeed, but like nobody goes into a project like, let's make a shitty game. Nobody does that.
Let's exploit our audience for all they're worth. No, like,
okay, some people do that,
but a lot of them
not
don't.
Usually not the people on the creative side of things is the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
look, here's the thing about the whole, capitalism thing. Sometimes people trying to make good art under capitalism are, occasionally they're kind of staggered by capitalism.
Yeah. I think the worst thing Cyberpunk did was not that it disappointed people, but rather that it created this obnoxious culture where, we're suddenly not allowed to be hyped for anything anymore.
Yeah.
People are like, this is going to be the next Cyberpunk. I'm just like, could you just shut your fucking mouth?
God, it reminds me of how many people...
That's so like disingenuous and disrespectful to every other fucking developer making things. Where it's like, you better not pull a Cyberpunk on us. You better not pull a Cyberpunk on us. And it's like, why would you say that? What reason do you have to say that other than that you were burned by a video game one time?
Yeah, it reminds me of all the people who are being like unnecessarily pessimistic about the new Pokemon game, Legends Arceus. That looks good, all right? Like, people are just being stupid and pessimistic because, Sword and Shield was a dud. Who fucking cares? That was like 2 years ago, okay? Clearly, the developers, okay, look, here's the thing. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Sword and Shield were very clearly designed to be a baseline template for Game Freak to build off of for future Pokemon games on the Switch.
Sure.
That's clearly what they were designed for. Legends Arceus is taking that in a good direction, and it actually looks like a pretty fucking solid game. People are being fucking stupid, and people are having really weird ideas of like what they should be able to expect out of a game with a 2-year development cycle. It's like, look, the fact that this is going for like this massive open world Pokemon game and it was made in 2 years, it looks pretty good, okay? Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of valid criticisms about Pokemon.
There can be, but like I'm talking about like this overwhelming pessimism that people are trying to stop people from wanting to look forward to this game. People are trying to stop others from enjoying it.
Right. Yeah, I feel like the criticism isn't so much the problem as like the way it's being forced into everyone's face, I guess. Like just the way people go out of their way to make their criticisms heard and drown out any positivity.
Yeah.
I feel it's fine to say these things and it's fine to have these views. I do a lot of the time as well. But like, I don't like to go out of my way to like go to every tweet the official account posts and be like, this is gonna suck, by the way. Hey everyone, just so you know, this is gonna suck. Hey, did you know this is gonna suck?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's just being obnoxious.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these people need to understand just because you have an opinion doesn't mean everyone is obligated to hear it.
You're also not obligated to buy this shit. Like
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of this comes down to people feeling like they're obligated to buy subpar products. And it's like, look, if you don't want to invest in like the foundation of future potentially better Pokemon games, that's fine. I wouldn't want to do that either. Not at Nintendo tax prices, but no one's putting a gun to your head and making you do that. If you don't think it's, like, if you have I feel like what I'm trying, like, I think criticizing that is valid, but at the same time, it's like acting like everyone else is stupid for buying a game they want is just stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't like pre-order culture, but I also really don't like anti-pre-order culture.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been doing?
Yeah, last night I watched, because it came out, I watched Hotel Transylvania Transformania.
Yeah, you apparently really like that movie.
Yeah, I think whatever the hell was going on behind the scenes that kept shuffling this thing around, the end product is actually pretty good. I think it's very solid. It's in line, up to par with the other films, and it might be my favorite since the original, actually. So yeah, I think the only real issue is the lack of Adam Sandler, but you get used to Brian Hull pretty quickly. What's actually really funny is the fact that since Brian Hull is just an impressionist YouTuber and not like a celebrity, even though Dracula is still the main character, he's actually like in the middle of the credits.
Really?
Yeah, because like they're not gonna give top billing to a YouTuber, so
true.
You know, yeah. So like, yeah, that's just interesting that now the main character is like buried halfway through the credits. That's really funny. But yeah, I think he does a pretty good job. You get used to it. And I think this film actually does address some things sort of left lying from the originals. I really like a lot of... I really like that it was very Johnny focused, because Johnny's kind of took a backseat in 2 and 3. So to focus again on that dynamic between Dracula and Johnny was actually really refreshing. And I think kind of needed. I don't know. I really like the movie. I think it's a good movie, and the animation is crazier than ever, which is saying a lot for these movies.
Yeah, that's saying quite a bit, considering that like these are movies directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, who is big on like when he's not doing stuff like Primal and Samurai Jack, he was making the cartooniest fucking shit known to man. So
yeah. It's a good movie. Like, there was every reason people had to expect that this was going to be like a, sort of like a direct-to-video sort of like cheap, sort of unnecessary add-on tacked on. But no, it's actually really good, and I think it continues a string of pretty solid movies. I actually, I really like the Hotel Transylvania series. They're really solid movies with fun characters, and I like them.
Sometimes that's all you really need for like a movie series is just, it's a good time.
Yeah, and they're like just visually so fun to watch.
You can literally just mute these movies and just enjoy looking at them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Transformania could either be a very solid finale or it could lead to other things. Like, it's kind of open-ended that way. So
like Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I guess.
But not nearly as good.
I mean, it's hard to beat.
True.
That's too high a bar.
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's fun. It's interesting. I still need to watch some fucking anime that's aired, but like I'll catch every fucking CGI animated family film as soon as it hits streaming.
To be fair, that's like a 90-minute commitment for those movies, whereas with anime it's like you have to commit like a certain amount of time every single week to keep up.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with movies.
The Bakagaijinshow. We have commitment issues.
Oh god, ain't that the truth?
I can't even commit to finishing this.
Haha, I see what you did there.
Yep. We're clever. We're clever here.
Bakagaijinshow and the Two Clever Boys.
Yes. The I don't have a... yeah. Anyway, so... if you've literally been up to actually nothing...
Yes,
then I think that'll do it for this segment, then.
Yeah, I think that'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it, yep. So yeah, stay tuned to the Baka Show. Welcome back to the Baka Gaijin Show. Evan has Taco Bell.
I have Taco Bell.
He does have Taco Bell.
It's delicious.
Oh man, how much can we stretch that out? Can we get 10 minutes of conversation about that?
I don't know. Do you like Taco Bell?
I don't really eat Taco Bell anymore.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Then I guess we can't.
Well, okay. First of all, I like real meat, so that's a problem. Secondly,
It's 88% real meat.
Secondly, spices upset my bladder. So
yeah, that's probably the biggest problem. Like, man, that sucks because like spicy food good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going Reddit diving.
Woo!
Got a lot of things lined up here.
So
I'll start because Kevin has a mouthful of potato.
Actually, they took potatoes off the menu.
I thought they brought them back.
And they took them off again.
What?
I know. What the fuck?
How did I not hear about this?
I have no fucking idea.
Is this the new McRib?
Oh god, please don't let this be the new McRib.
It's gonna be the new McRib, isn't it? Potatoes are gonna be seasonal items now.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, fuck
it's the
capitalism.
future. It's the future. Soon they're gonna give you potatoes on the blockchain, Kevin. You can buy a potato.
No, you can buy a receipt that says you have a potato.
Metaversal potatoes. Meta potatoes.
You can buy a receipt for a picture of a potato.
Finally. Ah, the future.
Well, okay, technically it's actually a receipt for a link to a picture of a potato.
There you go.
NFTs are so fucking stupid.
Wow, this is worthless. It's less than worthless, my boy. Anyway. Am I the asshole for not allowing my depressed son to have bottled water?
The fuck?
My son, 16, was diagnosed with depression 2 years ago, and has been going to therapy twice a week and put on medication. I share 50-50 split custody with his dad. A system his dad set up was buying 8 2-liter bottles for a week for him to have in his room so he doesn't have to leave his room to drink. He will drink more than 2 liters a day, and his dad occasionally gets him energy drinks and such. We've been doing this in my house, but bottled water is expensive. I have 5 other kids with my husband. It's an unnecessary expense we could do without, plus, plastic in the ocean, yada yada. So instead, I got him a large water bottle and told him to fill it up as needed from the tap. This led to the slightly sticky situation of my son filling it and trying to make it last all week so he didn't have to refill. He was pretty lethargic all week, but that's not out of the ordinary. I assumed he was coming down and filling it up at night when we were out, or while we were out, as he doesn't like his siblings all that much. 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 18-month-old triplets. Monday, he goes to his dad's and tells him the new system. My ex called me angry and called me an abusive mother. I explained cost. He said I should stop breeding. That's funny. That's great. That's great. Oh my god. Is this guy the best dad?
Based?
Stop breeding. And prioritize our son over the younger ones who don't have mental health issues. I apologized but told him the plastic waste is unacceptable. If our son needs me to, I can fill the bottle. X is still incredibly angry, stating his health should come first. I think he's being unreasonable, but I do understand his fear and anger to an extent with the things we go through regarding our son. Son has stated he'll stay with his dad, skip my week, and he'll be back week after next. I think he's trying to guilt me. He was like it as a tot. If one of us upsets him, he'll beg to stay with the other to make us feel bad and give in. Typical divorced family shit.
Yeah.
Am I being an asshole? I understand he lacks energy, but it's not really an excuse. Like I said, I'm more than willing to help him if need be.
I mean, I guess you kind of were trying to by getting the water bottle. Like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad investment.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. Reddit says, you're the asshole. This is not about the bottled water situation. If your depressed son isn't leaving his room for a whole week and you aren't interacting with him enough to even realize it, or realize he's not drinking because of it, then you're doing something very wrong.
True. That is true.
She did say she would fill it for him. I'm kind of caught between extremes here, because on the one hand, I think that's, I get it, bottled water is expensive.
Yeah.
And I think having a container and such is fine. But I also, just the way she talks, I don't know how consistent she would be in keeping this thing filled. Mm-hmm. And also, I think the dad is right. She should probably stop having babies if money is this much of a concern.
Yeah, because she's got, what, a 3-year-old, like a 4-year-old?
No, she said she has 5 other kids with her husband.
Yeah, maybe stop having kids if money's that big of an issue.
Yeah, like at a certain point, I don't have sympathy for someone who's just like, I can't buy bottled water because I have 5 children, and I'm like, well, that sounds like your choice.
Yeah.
You prioritized having more kids over taking care of the one you have.
Yeah, like you're not really balancing your life terribly well there, and that's on you.
Yeah. This thread is kind of a clusterfuck, honestly, of people who don't understand mental illness.
Yeah.
So
that's another thing. Like, there's only so much you can actually do to somebody who is that shut off from other people to actually get them to not be shut off from other people.
Right. Because someone says here, yes, the water in the room is enabling him to hide away when he needs to interact with other people. Someone's like, forced interaction doesn't fix mental illness. If anything, it can make it worse. Kid needs to be handled by a professional, and possibly meds first and foremost. He'll get himself out when he starts to get better. Yeah. So, but is she the asshole is the question we're asking. Obviously, this is a complicated situation. Is she the asshole, though?
I don't know. I don't think she's intending to be, and I think she's well-meaning in any case. I think the dad is actually more the asshole because he is the one most enabling the son's poor behavior.
I mean, what about this is poor behavior, though? He's got depression. You know, he doesn't do it. He's not doing anything is the thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. It's like it's enabling him to just kind of like wallow in this, not seek help or get any kind of. But at this,
but I don't think having a canister of water really solves that either.
It doesn't, admittedly.
So I don't know and we don't know enough about their life to say that. I don't know if the bottled water is a big enough aspect to like state that definitively. I don't think there's enough difference between the two to be like, well, one's enabling him and one's not.
Yeah, it's not like the mother is like making these massive strides to, be a part of her son's life. She's focusing more on like her youngest kids and kind of leaving him to his own devices in most cases.
Yeah, well, at least the father, seems to care a lot more for his son.
True.
You can call that enabling or whatever, but like at least he's paying more attention to him. Mm-hmm. The mother seems to treat him almost like a house plant she has to water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with no assholes here.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad situation.
Yeah, I think Reddit has determined that she's the asshole. I think it's more complicated than that.
Yeah. Anyway, send me something to read.
Here's a good comment though.
Okay.
For a clinically depressed teenager, spending that much time isolated in his room should be a big red flag that the current treatment approach is not working. Removing the one aspect of it that is working, which is providing him enough water to last him the week, is not only a dick move, but illogical and unsupportive.
True.
I would wager a guess that your own living arrangements are inadequate. I'd be pretty irritable and reclusive too if my mom remarried, had 5 children under the age of 5, and couldn't even be bothered to encourage the one healthy behavior I managed to pick up just because, plastic waste is bad. How much waste do you think your 5 toddlers contribute to the world? Are you refusing to use diapers or buy toys wrapped in plastic? Do you refuse to order from Amazon, who ships tiny products in giant boxes stuffed with plastic and styrofoam? Do you religiously cut up all those plastic rings so they don't choke out turtles and dolphins?
See, this is why we listen to Reddit, because they think about this shit.
Your son desperately needs your support, and your ex is 100% right that you're not prioritizing his needs. I get that taking care of 2 toddlers and 3 infants is far from easy, but if that means you can't handle being there for your teenage son even in the smallest way by providing him a consistent and convenient method of hydration that works for him, then frankly you ought to relinquish custody to him at all, because your ex is obviously at least trying and you're clearly not.
So yeah, stop breeding.
Yeah. That's our official verdict. Stop breeding.
But the question was, who's the asshole? Stop breeding.
Stop breeding. Let's see. Would you like another one about divorce?
Oh dear. Sure, I guess.
It's a common theme.
Seems to be.
Here you go.
Am I the asshole for dropping my son off at his dad's during his custody time, even though he was scheduled to fly out on that day? What? Posted by Ita Step Up.
Yeah, oh. I read that as I taste pup. Puppies.
Our custody agreement is that my ex has our son for overnights 2 weekends a month. He never sticks to it, though, and usually asks to see him whenever it suits him. Yeah, that's a bad thing. I was supposed to drop him off Friday evening, but the night before at 2 a.m. he texted me to let me know he had a flight to catch late Friday, so I would have to keep our son. This is also a petty revenge story. I was pissed because this isn't the first time he's done this, and this was one of the biggest issues we had during our marriage. Him leaving on short notice constantly and just expecting me to deal with it. Yeah, I can see that. I ended up taking my son to him and ignoring his message. When we got there, he tried to get me to take him home with me and called me childish and petty when I refused. He ended up taking our son with him, but he's been sending me angry texts the entire time since apparently our son has been making it hard for him to get any work done. Am I the asshole? Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole because his dad literally agreed to the setup of like 2 weekends out of a month, and he's not even keeping to that. He's basically trying to be as much of a deadbeat as possible while not being a good parent at all, despite the separation. Like, just because you're separated, just because you are not, actively in the house doesn't mean you should, look, be a good parent to your kids, okay? Divorce regardless, they're still your kids.
Kevin, I have an unpopular opinion.
Yes.
I've never understood this whole system of having rigid schedules for separate for like custody and whatnot. I've never understood that because life is complicated, and I think it really should be more fluid than that. I understand that requires like actual communication, and that's hard for people, but like, I don't know. I've always felt like it should be more fluid than that. Like, who can do it? Who wants to do it? What does the kid want? I've never really understood this whole, X days of the week or whatever system. I think that's just a bad system that encourages conflicts just like this.
Yeah.
Where if they had a more flexible and fluid arrangement, these kinds of issues wouldn't be a problem. Like you say, he's an asshole for asking to see him whenever it suits him, but like I think that's kind of how it should be, because
I guess.
I mean, like he's an asshole in the context of breaking the established agreement, but I also think the agreement is stupid. So, and I think he probably has. I think even if he doesn't realize it, he probably has the better idea how to go about things like that. That's just my opinion.
Now,
I don't have divorced parents. I don't know.
Now,
but, yeah.
There are a couple of interesting I skimmed them, and there are a couple of interesting responses in the comments here.
Okay.
Top comment from asshole enthusiast Glass Sandwich 9315.
That sounds like something I would not want to eat.
This is not healthy for your son. You did this to try and hold your ex accountable, and that's reasonable, but in the end, your son was forced to spend the weekend with someone who clearly doesn't want him, and that can have a lifelong impact on him. I suggest that, for the sake of your son, you take your ex to court and get full custody. Yeah, that's
But then
fair.
but then OP also says that my son is enjoying his time with his dad. Despite everything, my ex is not the type to take out his anger on our son or make him feel like he isn't wanted when he has him.
That's, at the very least, the dad is doing... the dad's at least handling it well in that regard with his son.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is that, like, I feel like these kind of strict, rigid arrangements just create unnecessary conflict, and it really should just be more freeform than this.
Yeah.
And I understand that not all breakups are amicable enough to do something like that. But I also feel if the breakup was so non-amicable that you can't communicate in that fashion, I feel like having split custody in the first place isn't something that should be happening if it was that volatile.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's complicated. I don't have all the answers.
Isn't that just how it is with divorce, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but in terms of assholeness, yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole.
Yeah.
All right. Am I the asshole for putting up pictures of spiders in my room to keep my arachnophobic cousins out?
Oh boy.
I, 17F, have twin cousins, 8M, that have been staying with us for the last week while their parents are getting their house renovated. They're insanely mischievous. A real Zack and Cody, these two. They keep that was my addition.
Okay.
They keep running into my room, upending everything, throwing all my stuff everywhere, trying different passwords to unlock my desktop. If I latch the door, they'll bang at it until I let them in. Every time or their parents yell at them, they get more amused. I discover they're both arachnophobic, so I printed out massive spider posters for each of my walls, floor, cupboard, and the side of my bed and door. Now they cry every time they see them and can't enter the room without looking at one. I removed the one from my door when my parents complained, but I'm keeping the ones in my room to keep them out. Their parents are okay with that, but the boys keep begging me to get rid of them, and my own parents are telling me that I'm being cruel.
They should have stayed out of your room in the first fucking place.
No, not the asshole, but you are the comedian.
Oh my god. Now, let me tell you this as somebody who personally, has massive, acute arachnophobia.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny as hell.
No, yeah, this is funny.
The kids shouldn't be in your room to start with, and if this keeps them out, then hey, you're doing something right. It's like you're not hurting them or anything. They shouldn't be there in the first place. If they don't want to see the spiders, just don't go into your room.
Cause and effect.
Solved.
Cause and effect. Yeah, no, not the asshole. Hilarious.
It's like you could construe it as oh, it's a dick move because they're just children. Just because they're children doesn't mean they shouldn't learn from the consequences of their own actions. These are the consequences of your actions. If they're doing it anyway, then they're willingly traumatizing themselves. And I think 8 years old is old enough to learn to not go places you're not supposed to. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's one for you.
Am I the asshole for not avoiding my best friend so his girlfriend feels more comfortable?
Well, you know what we say, bros, poor hoes.
So many of these are just relationship advice, and I'm getting a little sick of it.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes.
I, female 21, am best friends with W, M22.
Oh, God, it's Wyatt, isn't it? It's a Wyatt. It's totally a Wyatt.
Fuck you, Wyatt!
Anyway.
W and I met during freshman orientation and formed a tight-knit group with 3 other
I thought
girls.
you were F!
We're all still friends, but W and I hang out the most because we are the most social people in the group. Let's get this out of the way. I am a lesbian, and I am fully out of the closet.
Okay, now you have to read it like a lesbian, though.
How do I read it like a lesbian?
You figure it out. It's your job.
W has also never expressed any attraction to me before or after I came out. I've always gotten along with his partners, and I'm still close friends with one of his exes. I'm also a very huggy person. I give incredible hugs, and it's a skill that needs to be shared and appreciated. LOL. He's been dating F22 for 2 months now, and he seems really happy about it. It had been rough for him during the pandemic, and I'm happy that he found someone who lifts him up. That's why I'm a little conflicted here. I was excited to meet S after W. God, these fucking letters.
Just use substitute names. Jesus Christ.
I'm not good at that.
No, I'm telling them that.
Yeah, I was excited to meet S after W talking about her nonstop, and we, plus a couple of other friends, met at his place. We are all vaccinated and tested negative. Okay, that's important. She didn't seem to like me very much, answering all of my questions with 1 or 2 word responses and giving me kinda cold looks. I tend to overthink, so I figured she was just shy and I was reading too much into things. We all ended up playing Mario Kart and Smash for a few hours. Ah, a good party.
Gamer lesbians.
We all ended up, when it was time for us to go, I hugged W and all my other friends goodbye. I non-verbally offered her a hug, but she just shook her head. Fair enough, honestly. The next day I got a DM from her on Instagram telling me she didn't appreciate how flirty I was with W and told me to back the fuck off. I was pretty shocked because I thought she knew I was gay, but I could kinda see where she was coming from. I'm very femme-presenting, so people might often assume incorrectly. I clarified that I am not interested in W or any man for that matter, and I have no intention of getting between them. She said that didn't matter and I need to know my role. Oh god, one of these people. I need to know my role, which was interesting. Trying to keep the peace, I told her I'd stop giving him hugs if that was the issue, which she then replied that she'd prefer I just distance myself from him. That's a toxic relationship. I haven't responded. I really have no intention of avoiding or distancing myself from one of my best friends. Am I the asshole? Is this disrespectful to their relationship? No. No, it's really not. This person is being very controlling and manipulative, and that's a bad thing.
Kevin, in their defense, though, you have to understand, this person's username is Anon Gay Best Friend. Maybe they just misread that as a non-gay best friend. So,
a non-gay best friend.
So, it's possible that they think they're just lying about it, because their username is a non-gay best friend. So, there you go. The asshole.
No.
That's just funny. Didn't think that one through, did you?
Yeah, but, so there are a few edits. There are a few updates. Update 1.
Okay.
I slept on it and sent screenshots of the convo to W with the message, "Hey, homie." I totally understand if you want to focus on your relationship right now. I don't know if this is a joint decision between you and S, but I will do whatever makes you happiest. If I cross a boundary, please let me know. He hasn't read the message yet. Honestly, that was a good decision. Thank you for your great advice. You were right. This is his decision to make. Yeah. Update 2. I spoke with W and you were all right. Yeah. Everybody in the comments is basically collectively saying not the asshole for the reasons I gave.
Yeah.
I spoke to W and you were all right. He didn't want to lower contact and he didn't even know that S felt this way. S never seemed jealous or upset when he'd talk about me to her. He told me I didn't do anything wrong in his eyes and that he'd talk to her and try to figure this out. The call was pretty short and he seemed really upset, so that sucks. But I don't think I'm going to lose a friend. Update 3. S deleted her message on Instagram.
No. They said Insta. You gotta talk like a lesbian.
S deleted her messages on Insta.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
But yeah, not the asshole. Yeah.
Not the asshole. Yeah.
I'm glad that everything seemed to kind of work out pretty cleanly in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully S doesn't try to pull any of this shit again and is more understanding and more isn't so controlling about her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything's fine now.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not fine. Another one about divorce.
Oh god damn it! We've had 3 of these now.
Am I the asshole for not letting my ex pick up our daughter a day early so she can see her dog before it's put down?
Jesus. Okay. Whoa. Wow. That went to a dark place very fast.
I, 29F, have a 9-year-old daughter, Claire. Can you imagine someone 2 years older than us has a 9-year-old daughter?
Jeez. Actually, I can't imagine that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can imagine it too, but no. I have a 9-year-old daughter, Clara, with my ex-husband, Brian. Brian has Claire. Brian has Claire Wednesday through Saturday, and I have her Sunday through Tuesday. So when we were together, shortly after Claire was born, Brian got a dog. I thought Brian was a dog, but whatever. This dog was not young then, 6 or 7. Now must be ancient. Claire loves this dog, and I've tried to indulge that as much as possible. On the days I have her, Brian will let Claire video call with him and the dog, which I think is a bit extreme, but each their own. Brian contacted me this morning saying he has to put the dog down tomorrow, and he asked if he could pick up Claire a day early so she could say goodbye. I told him I didn't want to do that and didn't think it was a good idea to go against court-ordered custody. And since he wouldn't watch her when I had a work emergency, I didn't see why this was different. He said I was being overly dramatic and petty and cruel to not let Claire see her dog. I don't think I'm wrong because we've already set the standard, but we're sticking to the court-ordered custody, but he sent me several texts saying I should let Claire be there and even told her what was going on, which in my opinion was overstepping, and I don't think it's right for him to contact her behind my back about something involving our co-parenting. Claire is also upset at me now and wondering if I'm being an asshole now that she knows. Am I the asshole for not wanting to let him pick her up a day earlier than usual?
Yes! Let her see the dog! What the fuck?
I like top comment. Major YTA, what if a relative died? Oh, sorry, can't go to the funeral. Not on the schedule.
Jeez.
These are the things that drive kids apart from their parents. Don't be that parent.
Yeah, look. The court-ordered custody is like... I think we mentioned this earlier. It's more of a guideline than a rule.
Yeah.
If... Just let her go see the dog, for fuck's sake.
Edit! Thank you to everyone who replied. I thought about it some more and read some of the replies, and I realized I was being short-sighted and taking out my frustration from the past in a way that would only negatively affect my daughter. I've talked to Brian, and we've made an agreement that I'll pick her up tomorrow to say goodbye and drop her off a day early.
Yay! Good ending!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as good of an ending as you can get with a dead dog.
But you were still the asshole!
You were!
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely the asshole, but you fixed it.
We're sticking to that, but yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Character development. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Woo!
Let me see if this one's worth reading. Yeah, why not? There we go.
Okay. Am I upset for saying my cousin can't be upset with me?
You're not allowed! Illegal!
My cousin Thomas and I were pretty much raised together. My parents were in and out of my life. I spent a lot of years with my aunt. As a result, we were very close. Back in May, Thomas got married to his longtime girlfriend. It was a destination wedding that would have required me flying out. It's important to add, I'm a single father to 3 kids. The wedding was child-free, which I respected, but I said there was no way I could go. All my family that usually babysits is going to the wedding. I also couldn't afford to pay a sitter on top of travel and hotel. Alright. I let Thomas know and he was not happy. I tried to get other family to split the cost of a sitter that could watch all the kids, but most were leaving them with in-laws. He said ILs, but it's in-laws.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for my kids to be invited, just said that...
Or maybe international lovers. You don't know.
I don't, but I'm assuming. Just said it... I didn't ask for my kids to be invited, just said with it being a destination child-free wedding, I couldn't afford to go. He was really hurt. I sent a gift in my regards. A few months later, Thomas and his wife put up the pictures on Facebook. I saw that there were 3 kids there. I didn't say anything as their wedding, their choice. Around Christmas, I saw Thomas and he was talking about his wedding. He mentioned he was still hurt that I didn't come. I explained why again, and then added that other kids were there. Thomas got defensive, saying two were his wife's siblings, and the other was the flower girl, a friend's daughter. I repeated I understood, but he can't be upset with me when I had no feasible way of going. I added if he really wanted me there, he could have made an exception for my kids too. Thomas feels like I'm an ass for saying this, and that I'm making excuses. Am I the asshole? No. I think you're being completely reasonable, actually.
Yeah. Remember last week I went about a child-free wedding drama too.
We did. Oh my god. Yeah.
People just need to stop breeding, okay?
Stop breeding. Not the asshole. If you couldn't afford it, which is reasonable, then that's the end of the story. If you plan a destination wedding, you have to expect that not everyone will be able to make it. I can understand him being disappointed you weren't there, but he doesn't need to direct anger at you for doing what's best for your family. Yeah, like, he couldn't, like, there was no reason for him to believe that, like, there was, it's a child-free wedding. It's fair to assume no children there.
That's usually what that means, yeah.
You know, by word.
Yeah. People who get upset at people when they set up, like, if you set up a bunch of circus hoops, you don't get to be mad at other people for not jumping through them.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know why OP's friend is being so pissy here. Like, it's just, you made reservations and you made plans that your friend couldn't follow through with to go, so oh well.
Yeah.
Some people just suck.
Yeah, true. That's what we learned here.
People suck.
I'm trying to decide which one of these I want to read. Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my friend to pay for skin ointment after I got a rash being forced to sleep in his barn?
Why were you being... Okay, let's listen to the story before I ask any more questions.
So this is 29M. My friend has a hunting lodge we go to. He recently had a child and didn't want to wake his sleeping baby at night, so he asked me to sleep in his barn before he went out in the morning for our hunt, even though he had a spare bedroom. I was given a sleeping bag and a pillow. When I returned home after the weekend, I discovered my admittedly doughy body was covered in a mysterious rash. My doctor said it was probably due to exposure to vermin. I was given a prescription of an expensive skin ointment. I asked my friend to cover the cost since I was forced to sleep in the barn. He just laughed at me.
Wow, okay.
Friend is a strong word.
Yeah.
Not top comment, not the asshole. This is not your friend. Take the rash as an expensive lesson learned. Distance yourself from him and look for other friends who won't treat you like a dog to be sent to a barn at night.
Yeah, if he... Oh, God. He laughed at you for saying, hey, I got a rash because I slept in your barn. Cover the cost of the rash ointment for me. Because this is technically... because you told me to sleep in a goddamn barn. Like...
you're so silly.
What?
No, I'm reenacting the bit.
Oh, right. Jeez, like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Not the asshole.
Yes.
No, they are the asshole, in fact. The other person.
Yes. Yeah. OP, you are bakagaijinshow certified, not the asshole.
All right, I sent you another one. I was hoping you'd just notice on your own, but
no, I was about to look down.
Okay. Kevin, we only look forward here on the Baka Gaijin show.
Zeke.
What?
Am I the asshole for hiding the soda?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out.
Posted by Mountain Dew Dilemma.
I love these throwaway names.
I feel ridiculous for even posting, but I need objective eyes on this.
Oh, that's what we provide here. Objectivity.
Background. 1 husband, 2 stepkids. Male 15, male 17. Married 5 years. We keep separate financial accounts if that makes a difference. And we
my god, it's another divorce story!
Why does this keep happening?
Stop breeding!
We keep separate financial accounts if that makes a difference. And we alternate who buys groceries week to week. Okay, it's not divorce, but... Anyway, here's the deal. I don't drink coffee. I drink Mountain Dew or the occasional energy drink for my morning caffeine kick.
Nice.
That's metal as fuck, dude.
Coffee sucks.
My husband and the oldest stepson are both coffee drinkers. With increasing...
divorce him. Divorce him.
Bruh. Stop! Coffee drinkers, divorce him.
Well, I'm just being a Redditor, Kevin.
With increasing frequency, I'll go to grab a drink out of the fridge and all the soda and energy drinks are gone. The kids have taken to coming home and grabbing 2 or 3 more sodas, and before they left to their mom's house last week, the 15-year-old was actually packing a 6-pack into his backpack to go. The obvious solution, I thought, was to buy more soda. Yes, I know it's awful for the kids, but if their dad isn't stopping them from sucking down junk food, it's not my deal to intervene. Aren't you the other parent?
I don't even know anymore. There's so many divorces.
Nope, still gone to where I'd look in the fridge for one single, much-needed energy boost and nada. So I started asking my husband to pick up soda or a few energy drinks on his grocery shopping week to supplement. His response was that he's not wasting money on garbage like that, and to complain about how expensive things like Mountain Dew are these days.
Mountain Dew's so damn expensive these days. Would you marry a boomer?
I don't know. Next tactic was to ask that if the kids drink soda that they please leave a few behind if it's obvious we're almost out, so I have at least 1 or 2 when I go to grab one. This is where things took a turn for the worse. My husband got irritated that I was policing the food, and that no one who lives here should have to ask permission to eat or drink. Fine, I figured if I wanted to have a Mountain Dew or energy drink to myself then, I would just put a little mini fridge in my office and stash a few there. I got a tiny fridge that holds a 6-pack and popped a few in there. I put the cases I buy in my office as well, and put a week's worth in the main fridge at a time so that they last until I shop again. Yesterday, the 15-year-old complained that there hadn't been Mountain Dew in the fridge for a few days, and my husband grumpily said, "Go get them out of OP's office. She's hiding food and snacks from you guys in there." Oh no. At this point, I put my foot down and said I'm hanging on to some drinks that I like every week because otherwise I don't get any, and if everyone else drank what I put in the fridge for them before I shopped again and my husband didn't want to buy any himself, that's just too bad. My husband still refuses to buy the soda himself, but is convinced I'm being a complete and total jerk because I'm hiding what I purchase. Am I being completely oblivious to my own asshole behavior here, or is this as lopsided as I think it is? I think it's as lopsided as you think it is. Also, really fucking stupid. What?
He's top comment says he's a jerk and a cheapskate, and yeah. If he wants his kids to have it, he can start buying it.
I love the responses like, "Oh, go into the OP's office. They're hiding it from you." Mm-hmm. Like it's what is it? A fucking game to find it?
Yeah.
OP is the one buying it. It's for them. The kids shouldn't be having it. Not the asshole. Fuck. Jeez. Well, that was an interesting one. The hell.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to bathe a child?
Alright.
Depends on what you're not bathing them in. If it's the blood of your enemies, then yes.
Always, every time, whenever you can, bathe your child in the blood of their enemies.
Exactly. After I graduated from college, my parents bought me a fairly sized apartment as a gift. Since I had some extra space and didn't mind any extra cash, I decided to find a roommate. My roommate is a friend from high school, 28F, and she has a son, age 6. They've been renting the past 4 years. She goes out 2 to 3 times a month and asks me to babysit since the regular sitter that comes 6 days a week doesn't work on Sundays. Not a big deal for me. I just order some food and we watch TV, or I let them play video games, whatever.
Oh, so far, there aren't babysitter.
Yeah, so far there weren't any issues until last Sunday. After the dinner, we watched TV, and I turned on the Xbox for him so I could answer some emails. While I was typing, he comes to me, and before he could say it, the stench hit me. He had an accident!
Oh.
At 6?
Oh, God. Is he one of those kids that just, plays Fortnite all day and just shits his pants instead of actually quitting the game?
Average Fortnite player. Divorce.
They're not even married.
Yep. Oh, damn it. God damn it. I had to replug in my headphones.
Oh, no.
Okay, am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You never left.
It was so funny. I accidentally unplugged my thing. Anyway. Average Fortnite player, divorce. I had to get up and move from him because he was getting sick. I was getting sick. I told him to sit down and tried calling his mom, who didn't answer. I messaged her saying her son had an accident and to get back ASAP. She wrote me to just run him a bath and change his clothes. I answered, "Nope, can't do that. Please hurry." She didn't respond, though, so I just thought she was on her way, so I told the kid to wait for his mom in the room. Hour and a half later, she finally returned and asked me if I figured it out. I told her no, and that I wrote her that I can't do it. She just stormed off to her room. A bit later, she walked up to me upset and said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Did you really let him sit like this all this time? Come on, fucking asshole, what was the problem?" I just apologized and once again told her that I couldn't get myself to do it, after which she sent her back to her room. So she went back to her room. Sorry, I've never in my life changed or bathed a child, and I couldn't stand the smell. I think that I would probably be able to do it if he had just wet himself, but I don't know, honestly. My buddy laughed at me and called me a little bitch after I told him this. Based? Is it the dad? Is it the dad from earlier? Are all these connected?
Look, so here's the thing. Here's my perspective on this. You're the one who specifically agreed to babysit the kids on, what was it, Sundays?
Yeah.
Okay, look. Being the babysitter...
Actually, before you say anything, there's a few... The few top comments make some good points.
Alright, let's hear.
Top comment, everyone sucks here. Before you started babysitting, you two really should have talked about what you can and can't do. She probably assumed a 6-year-old wouldn't soil themselves. I know I wouldn't have thought of that.
That's a good point. Like, you would assume by that point the kid is, fully potty trained and shit like that. So, like, yeah, the fact that the kid just shit himself is a little bit weird. Admittedly. Yeah. Like, that's kind of a left field thing.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. I think everyone sucks just for not communicating.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Also, the 6-year-old sucks for shitting himself. So everyone, literally everyone sucks.
Extra, everyone sucks.
Also, he plays Fortnite. We don't actually know that. We just made that assumption, but we'll assume he's the average Fortnite player, so he sucks too. Yeah, everyone sucks.
Yeah, like kid, go to the bathroom. Babysitter, figure out the terms better beforehand and figure out what you can and can't do. Mother. Same thing.
Yeah. Edit. Thank you for all the comments and advices. I can see that I messed up. I did talk to the roommate on Monday and we both apologized. She said it's her fault for not teaching me and showed me where his clothes are. Some suggested to apologize to the kid as well, so I'm going to be shopping later and we'll get him something nice. Yay! Don't reward him for shitting his pants.
It's okay, kid. Everybody does it sometimes.
See, he's enabling him to shit his pants.
So you're telling me that if I shit myself, I get new pants.
See, he's the real enabler.
You're the asshole.
No, ESH.
Okay,
ESH.
Yeah, everyone sucks here. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Okay.
I noticed the smell. The smell.
The smell of a Fortnite player.
Okay. Am I the asshole for getting angry with my girlfriend and demanding she pay to replace my sheets after she got blood on them? Oh, God.
This is going to need some context.
No, I can figure out the context from here, but let's go.
Yeah, murder.
Throw away for privacy. I, male 26, have been dating my girlfriend, female 24, for about a year now, and we recently moved in together. She didn't have a lot of furniture and such, so it's mostly mine in our apartment, including my bed, frame, mattress, sheets. I'm a bit of a neat freak. Oh dear. I'm a bit of a neat freak, and she generally is too. Oh, okay, so you're meant for each other then.
I feel like germaphobes are the number 2 thing we make fun of on this podcast outside of vegans.
A little bit. So we get along pretty well living together. Now, I'm not one of those guys that gets grossed out over a woman having her menstrual cycle. Good, otherwise you'd be the asshole.
We'll get to that. Remember that sentence.
Okay.
Remember that sentence.
I've had sex with my girlfriend on lighter days with a towel down. What? Why would you... I'll go buy her feminine products. I don't get weirded out if she mentions it. I will say, though, it totally grosses me out getting on my bed, though. To be fair, the bed is where you sleep. And, getting blood on that is a little... It is kind of gross. Anyway. Well, a few days ago when we woke up, I noticed a blood spot on the bed and got totally grossed out. I knew she had been on her period for 3 days already, so it wasn't any sort of surprise accident. I asked how it happened, and she was upset and said that she thought she didn't need to sleep with anything on. Ooh, always a bad idea. Always a bad idea if you're on your period.
Yeah.
I told her that was absurd. Why would you go without wearing anything and get blood all over my bed? I told her that was irresponsible and that she needed to pay me for new sheets. She agreed to pay for new sheets, but got upset with me for getting angry and calling her irresponsible. I mean, she said that she likes to not wear anything when she can, but clearly you couldn't. So, like, okay. Anyway.
Let's finish.
She said she thought her flow was light and she wouldn't bleed overnight. She said I have no reason to be angry to talk down to her over something I don't experience. I said that she should have been more careful with where I sleep and that it was unhygienic. Am I the asshole for getting upset and wanting her to pay?
There are some more context in the edits, so maybe we should go through those first.
Yeah.
There's a lot of edits.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Edit 1. A lot of people seem confused by what I said, not wearing anything. She was wearing her normal pajamas, just no menstrual products. She said since she's on birth control, she's very light on day 3 and doesn't ever bleed on the sheets. It still seems unreasonable for me to not have something for extra coverage just in case. To everyone saying to just wash the sheets, she did, but I just don't like the thought of it. Okay.
Remember when this guy said he wasn't grossed out by these things?
Yeah. Okay, like, there's kind of a spectrum here. Second edit. I obviously see that I was being a prick for being condescending towards her. Yeah, like, you make a good point, but you went about it very dickhole-ish. I will say that much. And not being sensitive to her embarrassment. It is a pretty embarrassing thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her I was going to replace the sheets myself. She got upset again, saying she didn't want to financially burden me every time she could potentially have a leak, and that washing them was good enough. I told her I obviously just have a weird phobia with it that I need to work through. Okay, good. You're aware of that. Good for you. Good. I did ask her to wear products every night until she knows it's gone, and she called me ignorant and had no right to suggest how she handles her period. She's coming to get her stuff to stay with her mom, so... Why did they always go with their parents? Holy shit, people. Work out your problems like real adults. Holy shit.
So, I mean, she's just staying. She's not, like, complaining and be like, you talk to him for me.
So it feels...
That's usually the thing.
So it feels pretty over. I'm sure many of y'all will be happy to hear. Jeez. Third, yep, she says it's definitely over. I tried taking what some of you said about understanding that the flow fluctuates and all that, but she said the damage was done. Final update. After sleeping on it and talking to my friends and family, I am definitely in the wrong here. I had no reason to be that grossed out and asked her to replace the sheets when she washed them. Yeah, I think washing them, as long as you get the blood out, is fine. It was an honest mistake, honestly. Now, admittedly, probably a little bit not that smart of her to just go without it for, like, when she wasn't 100% sure that it wasn't going to happen, but, like, I mean, you kind of overreacted, and you could have washed it, and this whole thing just sucks. I had no reason to be that grossed out. I definitely had no right to tell her she was irresponsible and how to manage her own body. She probably could have done a better job, though, I guess. I don't know. I apologized to her sincerely and said she definitely deserved better than that. She agreed and is not taking me back, which I deserve. This is my first time living with a woman, and I fucked up big time. Thanks to the people trying to give helpful advice, and thanks to the sub for showing me how awful I acted. I'm going to take in all of this moving forward. I shouldn't have ever seen my apartment as still my apartment when she moved in. True. If you're living with someone else, it's kind of like both of your property at that point. To be fair. That was awful of me too. Best I can do is take this all in and learn from it and treat the next person in my life better. People of Reddit, have a good weekend.
I just really like top comments first sentence. Lol, I'm fine with blood on my dick when I'm having sex, but I don't know how to wash sheets.
Yeah, that's another thing that kind of got me. It's like, you're okay with having like a red pole during the fuck time, but the second a few drops get on your sheet, oh, that's too much. Like, it's on
Not
your
the bed
dick,
sheets.
man.
Not the bed sheets.
You can get blood on my dick, but not on my sheets.
This is some Death the Kid level of weird priorities.
It kind of is.
I'm stuck between you're the asshole and everyone sucks here.
Yeah, I don't think the girlfriend was being terribly great either. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
like, a lot of this is partially due to her not really having good coverage and kind of playing a Russian roulette with her period flow.
Mm-hmm. And also just, like... being... That's why I want to go with everyone sucks here, because I feel like they were kind of mutually unempathetic, you know?
A little bit, yeah.
Because like, this... Like, guys don't know shit about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, this was the first time he'd ever lived with a woman before. Like, you'd have to, like, I'm not saying the gross out is one thing, but like, the not quite understanding the mechanics of it and not, you know, not making assumptions about how it does and doesn't work. That's just kind of a natural thing that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And she felt very hasty and unempathetic about that. But he was unempathetic towards her. But I feel like that came from a place of ignorance and not from a place of a genuine lack of empathy, as evidenced by how he reacted, you know, in his updates.
Yeah,
you know?
like
I don't get the feeling like he's an unempathetic person by nature. I just feel like he was not empathetic to her out of ignorance.
Yeah, he was unempathetic because he was ignorant and weirded out, and she was unempathetic because she was highly embarrassed and defensive.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go everyone sucks here, just because there was just a mutual lack of empathy and understanding and communication here.
It's honestly just kind of a sad situation, and it sucks that this ended up being the breaking point for them.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
Like, you can argue who was the slightly bigger asshole in this case, but that's not, as far as answering the question, I think everyone sucks here.
I would agree there, yeah, because like I just read through that entire thing and like I could see it's one of those things where it's like I could see where both of them were coming from, but I could also see where both of them really could have made a better decision.
Yeah, and also the fact that she broke up with him over this is just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not a woman, but I feel like this should not have been a break. This should have been a thing you could talk through, especially because of how he reacted in the edits, where I'm like, this guy seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like someone you could have an understanding conversation with and come to terms with. The fact that she just immediately broke up with him over it, I kind of think in the long term OP might have dodged a bullet.
Maybe.
So yeah, I'm definitely going everyone sucks here. Do they suck equally? I don't know. That's complicated, but everyone sucks to some degree here.
Yeah, whether or not it's like everyone sucks equally depends on, like, you know, your own personal perspective on the matter.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're prioritizing here in the situation.
Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole for selling my late husband's classic car instead of gifting it to my son?
Let's see where this goes.
My late husband passed away in 2013, was a classic car guy. He bought and sold them since he was a teenager as a hobby. What a boomer. Yeah, let me just buy and trade cars. Fucking boomer ass. The husband's the asshole. Anyway.
He's dead!
Just inherent... Dead people still have assholes, at least for a little bit. After he passed away, I kept his favorite car. My brother-in-law would come by and maintain it for us and sometimes take it to shows. My son would often go with his uncle to shows, and when my son got his license, he was allowed to occasionally drive the car when either I, his stepdad, I remarried in 2017, or his uncle were able to go with him. Unfortunately, the past 2 years were very difficult for us. My husband got very sick and was in the ICU. I wonder from what. That's an assumption. I have no idea.
Yeah.
He almost didn't come back home. Between the medical bills and him being out of work, we have gotten into a substantial amount of debt. I called my brother-in-law and gave him first option to buy the car. He declined the purchase, but said he would put feelers out and see if he could find someone, and he did. I told my son that we would have to sell the car, and he didn't take it very well. To be frank, he threw a temper tantrum bigger than any he had as an actual toddler. He says I have no right to use his inheritance to pay for my husband's medical bills.
What?
I explained to him that he doesn't... We'll get to that. I explained to him that he doesn't get any inheritance until I die anyway, and that I wasn't going to let our family suffer over a car. That selling the car is what will allow us to keep the family home and help him pay for his education. I apologized and told him if there were any other options, I would have taken them, but that's just the way life works sometimes, as sucky as that may be. He says that my husband and stepson are not his family, and since he stopped talking to his stepfather and stepbrother completely, and I am lucky if I get more than a word out of him. Am I the asshole for selling the car to pay off medical debts and rebuild our savings? There's some edits for context here. Edit. Since a lot of people have asked, no, my husband did not leave any specific instructions for what to do with the car. He had a bit of a revolving door of cars. He bought and sold one a year, it seemed. We had 3 at the time of his death. 2 were sold right away, but we kept this one as it was the most valuable and the one my husband had held on to for the longest. And I'm going to read top comment because that provides context for the next few edits.
Okay.
Top comment from Lola, the show girl. Sorry, that's a different thing. I know how hard medical debt can hit a family. It must have been terrible. But from your son's perspective, you got rid of his father's prized possession to pay off your new husband's debt. I don't know how you thought your relationship with him, or moreover his relationship with the stepdad, was not going to suffer. I do think you're the asshole for downplaying your son's feelings as a temper tantrum. You took away a link he had to his dead father. Of course he would be upset. You phrased having to sell the car as the right move for the family, but your husband and stepson are your family. You took something precious from your son's family to sustain your new family. As a third-party adult, I understand why you made this decision, but if I was your son, it would have taken a lot of work to repair this rift. And this comment has its own edit. To everyone saying that you'd have to live in a car, be homeless on the streets, etc. I never said she should have kept the car and lost the house. I just said she's an asshole for dismissing her son's grief. And that as an impartial adult, I might understand why she had to sell the car, but I doubt a grieving teenager would, and their relationship may very well be damaged by her actions. And then she has some further edits. This will probably be the last post on this thread. Seems the judgments are mixed. A lot of YTAs and NTAs. I feel like shit about it. I hate that my son is hurting. However, I don't believe that anything I did was a true asshole move. We are and were in a tough spot. Life happens, and we did what we needed to do. For the record, when I referred to my son as having a temper tantrum, that's my own personal venting about his reaction. I've never let my son onto those feelings of mine. To give a clearer picture of the financials, I've been on disability since my son was 3 years old. I am physically incapable of working more than part-time, which I do, and get a small disability payment. Yes, we have health insurance. However, my husband's medical bills is literally in the 7-figure range.
Oh.
We owe a shit ton, and we're paying it off for years. The big problem that has been with so little income for so long, we had living expenses, attorney fees, insurance premiums, and the like. Stuff that needs to get paid now. We were hoping my husband's disability claims and the back payments would have gone through before home foreclosure loomed. We would have been able to catch up and pay back some of the savings we had to borrow from our emergency fund, retirement, and college funds. Still waiting for that to come through, thus the attorney fees. Either way, my husband will be getting back to work soon. We're keeping our home. We have a plan for both kids so their colleges will be paid for. We will be okay. My son previously had a good relationship with his stepdad and stepbrother. I'm going to be speaking to my son about going back to speak with his grief counselor or doing some family therapy to work through this. I'm sure we will all get through this with time. I'm gonna go with no assholes.
No assholes here. It was a bad situation. You did what you had to do. The son's grief is understandable, but it's something that he needs to work through, and like using the car as like an emotional crutch is not a healthy thing for him to do anyway. And he should have known, and like the kid needs to understand that in hard situations, hard decisions have to be made for the betterment of everybody, not just one person. Yeah, I understand the car was a very important memento of his dad, but at the same time, medical bills needed to get paid, and that wasn't going to pay itself. It was a last resort. and I can't blame OP for this.
You know what? No. I'm not going to go with no assholes here. I'm going to go with not the asshole, because the real asshole here is the American healthcare system.
It really is. There you go.
There you go. The American healthcare system is the asshole.
7 figures! Literal millions of dollars! What the fuck?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the most tragic aspect of this, is that this should not have been a thing that needed to happen.
It's, man, a lot of these items today are just really sad.
Yeah, we got a good range going today.
We do. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
I think it's good. Variety, spice of life, like nutmeg up the nose. It tastes better in the mouth, stupid teenagers.
What the fuck? Who snorts nutmeg?
Losers. That's who. There's so many better things to snort. Anyway. God damn it. The stupid... my browser does this thing where sometimes I'll select the URL and it'll only copy, like, part of it. I'm like, no, I want the whole thing. Part of it is useless.
Fucking hate that.
Yeah,
right. Anyway, am I the asshole for telling my brother's pregnant wife she can give birth in an alley for all I care?
Stop breeding!
Fucking nuclear
If you have to breed in an alley.
Give me a second. Fucking hell. So give me a fucking moment. I can't get over that header.
It's good. It's good. I especially like how it comes from user Bad Brother.
So 30 male, have a 19 male half-brother. He's been living with me since he got married in December because my mother and he had a falling out due to the fact that he got married so young. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I knew then what?
If I knew then... I think you meant then, not than.
Okay, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have let them both move in. Both him and his wife, 19, are the worst house guests I've ever had. Guest. I say guest because they're meaning to look for work and a place of their own. I've made it clear from the get-go that it was temporary because I've got 4 children myself, 7...
Stop breeding!
7 female, 5 male, 3 female, 1 male.
I'm sure that's relevant.
And my wife works from home.
Okay.
Since they've moved in, they have complained about how loud mornings are in my cooking. I do all the cooking because I rarely do anything spicy, which my brother's wife craves.
Now I've just got that lyric stuck. Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning.
They're messy and never pick up after themselves, even moaned to my wife about never doing their laundry nor making my brother's wife snacks during the day. Holy shit.
The fuck? Crazy.
They think me and my wife are their personal help/drivers, then try to guilt us when we tell them no to 4 a.m. McDonald's runs, or my brother's wife's rude comments, but hey, we were too young to know better.
Excuse me, the proper term is chauffeur.
It all came to a head this week when all our children were at home due to a bug going around. Nothing bad, just schools, daycare in our area are extremely careful. I couldn't get the day off, so unfortunately my wife had to deal with 6 children while trying to work. My brother and his wife demanded they all stay in one room, and we get them...
No, you missed the best typo ever. He said, my bother and his wife.
My bother?
That's the best typo ever.
I mean, to be fair...
Mm-hmm. His keyboard knew how he was feeling.
My bother and his wife demanded... That reads so much better.
Yep.
Demanded they all stay in one room, and we get them takeout so there's no germs near the food. When my wife told...
germaphobes again.
Stop
breeding. Stop being afraid of germs.
When my wife told them they should cook for once because she is extremely busy, they filled out calling her heartless bitch. The B is capitalized for some reason. For making a 5-month pregnant woman cook for 8 people and my brother clean while he was trying to sort out business. It got to the point of them screaming at my wife and my kids crying, my wife having an anxiety attack. Please type better.
Yeah.
I rushed home when I got an SOS text, but my brother was waiting at the door crying about not being our sleigh.
The irony!
Oh! And how his pregnant wife is starving. When I got to my wife's office and she explained everything, I saw red. I told them they had 30 days to get out of my house and it was time they faced the real world. Yeah, that's reasonable.
This is another clear case where people just need to learn how to fucking cook.
They both tried to argue with me, explaining none of them can drive and my brother still hasn't got a job. I said I didn't care. My brother's wife said that they'd end up homeless and if anything happened to my niece, it was all my fault. I told basically what the title says and she started crying and calling me a heartless asshole. I explained my situation to my sister and she called me a bad bastard. For being
as opposed to a good bastard.
Or a reasonably understandable bastard.
Yeah, or a ruggedly handsome bastard.
For being so heartless to two teenagers, but I asked her when she was letting them move in, she hung up.
Oh, okay, so when are you taking care of them then?
I've had multiple social media posts made about me and angry phone calls from since then from my sisters. Type right! God damn it!
He's so bad. He's such a bad writer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Not the asshole. They've been taking advantage of you this entire time and have been making your life a living hell. Basically making you... I love the line is just like, we're not your slaves, says the person making OP their slave.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, no fucking self-reflection here on this motherfucker whatsoever.
Yeah. As usual, stupid game, stupid prizes.
I can't blame OP for even saying what he did because he was at the end of his goddamn rope.
Yeah.
There was like nothing else he could do. It's just like, he was angry and probably said something he shouldn't have, but look at what they were doing to his life.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yep. Not the asshole. But there is an edit, a sort of epilogue, I suppose.
So my brother and his wife have been kicked out as of 1 hour ago. My sister-in-law told me this morning she'd make the next 30 days hell on earth for us and blasted music when the baby was Oh man! Blasted music when the baby was sleeping, put on horror movies on the family TV when my kids were in the room, messed up both the bathrooms, even left the tubs full, then made a ton of food without eating much of it or cleaning up. They were extremely rude and went out of their way to insult my wife and children, thinking I had to legally let them stay the 30 days when I don't. So you can imagine their faces when I started throwing their stuff into the front garden. They threatened to call the police, and when that didn't work, and they knew I wasn't backing down. The tears and begging started. My brother even had the nerve to demand money for 3 months' rent and a deposit for their own apartment. I told them to fuck off, and my wife told them to go over to my sister's house. She will help them. She ended up begging for hotel and food money, but I told them to kick rocks. And if they weren't off my property in 20 minutes, I was calling the police. I don't know where they are now, but judging by the amount of times my sister has rang me, they're probably at her house. I've also changed my voicemail to, if you're mad I kicked out Bother and Sill, you can take them in or give them money. If you won't or can't, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm with him. If she cares so fucking much, she can deal with it.
She can kick rocks. I love this. Like, told them to kick rocks. Jeez. Yeah, no, I can't blame OP at all for any of this shit. Holy shit.
I love one of the comments where he's like, write down the names of everyone who called or messaged you to complain about behavior, pass the note on to your sister-in-law, and tell her those people volunteered to treat them better.
Drop them off at your sister's house. Problem solved.
Yep.
30 days isn't heartless, that's generous. This will be the first of many hard life lessons for them. Yeah, I love top comment is just like, I asked her when she was letting them move in. She hung up. That says it all. They want you to keep taking care of the mess so that they don't have to, not the asshole. They should have thought about all this before they treated you and your wife so poorly.
I sorted by controversial, and I love the top controversial comment, which is just someone correcting his spelling of the word alley.
I love how that's the most controversial comment as a fucking grammar Nazi.
Oh no, another controversial comment. Please, can you all use some birth control? I promise it'll make life better for you all. Where with you are you take me to the levee. Stop breeding. Someone else says, I call bullshit on this story. It's a little bit too over the top. You know what? You need to accept. Reddit is half made up stories by creative writing prompts, okay? But they're fun, so shut up.
The thing is, I have experienced such wild and crazy interpersonal family bullshit in my own life that this actually seems somewhat plausible to me.
Yeah. Yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah. Look, some people are super petty and super don't want to take responsibility for themselves to a comical degree.
Yeah.
This isn't as unrealistic as that person thinks it might be.
Am I the asshole for accommodating both my daughter's needs on only one of my daughter's birthday?
What?
Am I the asshole for accommodating both of my daughter's needs on only one of their birthdays?
What? Huh?
I'll just read the post, Kevin, since you clearly have reading
I
comprehension
heard it.
problem.
I heard it. I'm just like, why wouldn't you do
is
that for both birthdays?
But what does she mean, Kevin?
Yeah, what are the needs here? What are the needs?
I, 43F, have two daughters, Rose, 16, Emily, 14. Oh, it's not Emily, Lily. Rose and Lily. If she had another daughter, her name would be Marigold or something, I'm sure. There's a theme going on here. Lily is a picky... So, yeah, 16 and 14. Lily is a picky eater and has a wind-up personality. She also suffers from vasovagal syncope. Hold on, I gotta look up what that is.
Please do. I don't know what the fuck those words mean.
Okay. A vasovagal syncope is when you faint because of your body overreacting to certain triggers, such as the sight of blood or extreme emotional distress.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm constantly worried about her. Dad's not in the picture. Divorce! Another divorced one!
God damn it, no! What
Recently,
is this the theme?
Recently, it had been Rose's sweet 16 birthday. I think that's a stupid concept, but whatever. When I asked her multiple times what she gifted she wanted. I think she wants a mom that knows how to fucking write. She told me she didn't want anything and vehemently denied any of my advances regarding the gift. Her and Lily don't exactly get along, and Rose is comparatively less extroverted. Since Rose didn't tell me anything about her wishes, I planned a small party for her and decided to order food for the two of them. Lily's a picky eater, so I went along with what her choices were too as well. Lily doesn't like chocolate or red velvet. Lily's a punk-ass bitch and doesn't know good things. But Rose loves the two. I ordered a vanilla cake and some Italian because Lily doesn't fuss over the spices the Chinese cuisine has. Rose likes Chinese. I did so because I didn't want Lily to stress herself out on the choices or feel left out or be fussy about the food. The party went smoothly, or so I thought. The next day, Rose tells me that she expected the partiality that I showed. She tells me that she's disappointed that I don't care about her because the present I got her, a dress with matching accessories, wasn't something she was very fond of, but rather got Lily what she liked, a nail art kit. She hated the fact that Lily got a preset, I think she meant present, and had been accommodated into the party and seemed pretty jealous to me. I tell her that we must care about family, not alienating others, no matter how special the day might be to us. What the fuck does that mean? She tells me that the day she turns 18 will be the day she will alienate us, and then I can, quote, enjoy my life peacefully with Lily. All I wanted to do was make sure Lily didn't feel left out, and Rose learned how to share things with family. I don't think what I did was wrong. Am I the asshole?
I want to hear comments.
Top comment, you bought your 14-year-old daughter a gift on her sister's birthday so she wouldn't feel left out?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
That's about what I was thinking, yeah.
You're the asshole. You got the cake and the food your 14-year-old likes, not what the birthday girl likes. This is some dark shit, your poor older daughter.
Yeah, look, I understand wanting to accommodate someone who has, like, food triggers and shit. I totally get that. But don't do it to the detriment of the person whose actual fucking birthday it is. Look, if she... Why did you get her a present?
Somebody also commented, someone says, does Rose get presents on Lily's birthday to not feel out? I kind of doubt it. I'm just going by the favoritism that literally bleeds out of this post.
Yeah. This is why I wanted to hear comments, because it's like, I'm not crazy, am I?
No, OP is the asshole.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah. There are so many other solutions to this that don't involve completely ignoring your other daughter.
I love how the daughter's response is like, 18 is when I'm gonna alienate you.
Oh, snap, she went there.
Your daughter just said that? Take it home with you!
Yeah. Alright. Read this one.
Alright. Am I the asshole for badly reacting to my house being rearranged?
Depends.
Oh,
if it was by a tornado, then no.
Posted by So Bloody Over It.
Oh, these names, these throwaway accounts, so good.
Before you come at me, hear me out. Obligatory throwaway account in case this gets seen. Yeah, no shit. I went interstate to see my mother over the Christmas period. I had asked my boyfriend to look after my cat and house sit for me while I was away. I said to him not to have anyone over, which included my mother-in-law. I think that's a pretty reasonable request. While I was away, boyfriend secretly had mother-in-law over to my house under the guise of meeting the cat. Mother-in-law got it in her head that I needed her to tidy up, so they set to work tidying up while I was gone. I asked boyfriend not to get too carried away and not to touch anything that could be classified as rearranging. I thought I made myself very clear on my stance about this. Boyfriend actively lied to me about not having anyone over while I was away. I come home, boyfriend picks me up from the airport to tell me that my father is coming to my flat to see me. I thought the flat was still the way I wanted it. We get through the door to my flat and absolutely everything has been changed. I walk around and I lose my shit saying to my boyfriend that I told him not to go overboard. I started crying because he didn't respect my wishes and told me that mother-in-law had been there to help him. I lose it even more finding out that mother-in-law, who is a first-class snooper, has been in my apartment touching my things and putting my life on display.
That's another fucking archetype that keeps showing up, is the snooping mother-in-law.
Why does this keep happening? Like, that fucking mother-in-law, it's like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, consistently walks past the bathroom, directly into the person's bedroom for some fucking reason.
Yeah, the one with the glitter trap, yeah. I even think there's another mother-in-law snooper coming up later.
Oh, god
Jesus
damn it.
Christ.
Again?
I'm just wondering if this is the same person at this point.
Just happening over... No, what's happening is that we're clearly peeking into one person's life happening in multiple different timelines at the same time.
Yeah, clearly.
Reddit is just like the pathway to the multiverse here, clearly.
Exactly.
Boyfriend got up in arms because I was being ungrateful, and I said to him that I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this at all, and to find out that mother-in-law had been here without my permission really made me mad. I said to him that he should have consulted me about the changes he was going to make, instead of just doing it and making me learn to like it. My dad came over and I was in a foul mood, having just learned that my privacy in my home had been violated. Dad thought I was being unreasonable about the state of my house. Boyfriend and mother-in-law made it look like no one lives there. I stood my ground and said it was too much change, and now they have made it so I can't change it back. Boyfriend said I was an asshole because of my reaction to this. I'm starting to think I am, but I also feel like it was a healthy reaction to someone completely turning your house and stuff upside down without you knowing. So am I the asshole? No, what the fuck? Why did they do that? What?
No. No.
You told them specifically, don't do the thing, and they proceeded to do all the things.
I told them not to do something. They did it. Am I in the wrong?
Am I in the wrong? Am I so out of touch?
You know, it's funny that the subreddit supposedly has a rule that you have to explain why you think you might be the asshole, but it seems like people don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, you're not. No.
Yeah, not the
No.
asshole in the slightest. That's end of relationship level boundary violating. I'm curious, why can't you put it back the way it was? Did he go so far as to make structural changes or sell your belongings? That would be lawsuit time. Quote,
Yeah.
he's filled the empty spaces with furniture I can't lift or move, so I have to keep it the way he put it. He bought a whole second TV cabinet, so I can't put things back. Oh, so not only not only did he move all of your shit, he's literally buying more shit that you don't want just to make more, the fuck?
Crazy. Bitches be crazy.
Bitches be crazy, not the asshole. Holy shit.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna read a short little petty revenge story.
Ah, good. Some, good change of pace.
The city tries to fine me for not mowing my lawn, so I threaten the city with a fine for not mowing theirs. The city would send me letters telling me my lawn was too tall, and that if I don't mow it, they'll send out a contractor to mow it at the price of something like 50 feet per square foot. Jesus Christ, those contracting lawnmowers making bank.
Jesus.
So I stopped mowing their lawn. My property ended 15 feet before the curb. Not a 15-foot easement, it just ends there. My easement was a 10-foot back from the meeting, about 25 feet from the curb. Then, after it got too high, I copy-pasted their letter to me and certified mailed it back to the city. They also sent me a letter saying I needed to mow it at the same time. I looked up my plat in the county records and referenced it back to them. Took pictures of the tape measure and reiterated that if they don't take action soon, I'm going to hire a contractor to mow it and charge them the same absurd rate they were going to charge me. About a week later, I come home from work and it's been mowed. No bill, just mowed. I continued not mowing that 15 by 50 foot strip of grass for the next 5 or so years I lived there. I had even hired a kid to mow for me as I'd gotten too busy and very specifically told him not to mow that strip.
Ah, man. I love how it's just like, you need to mow this. No, you.
He really just reversed Uno card them, huh?
Just hit him with the reverse Uno card. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Love stories
Nice.
like this.
Nice.
Specifically, do not mow that strip of grass right over there.
Mm-hmm. Better not.
No, but you need to mow this strip of grass. Fuck no.
All right. Here's the one about the snooper again.
Okay, here we go. Am I the asshole?
The classic character.
Am
Look
I...
at how many awards this post has. What the fuck?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's got quite a bit.
Yep.
1 day ago. Wow, this is a very popular one.
Fresh out the oven.
Am I the asshole for hiding embarrassing notes in my house as a joke because I know my fiance's mom snoops? Oh, God.
Okay, so she's not your mother-in-law yet, but one day maybe.
I bought a house 7 years ago and I met my fiance, Al, 4 years ago. This year he moved in. We're talking about making it a home for both of us. But as of now, he hasn't moved much stuff in. Right now, 95% of the stuff and furniture in the house is mine. When his mom comes over, she's kind of a snoop. He was used to that, but when she comes to our house, it's so uncomfortable because she's just going through my shit. When I'm bothered, she's like, I was just helping with chores, etc. He says I should just let her... I should just let her because she has a lot of nervous energy.
I'm not sure science verifies that, but okay.
Yeah, no. One thing she snooped on was actually embarrassing. In my home office, I have a little affirmation post-it note on my monitor saying, I am smart, I am skilled, I am deserving of great things.
You can do this, you feel great, you can do this!
It was a silly thing my therapist recommended to get me in a confident mindset before an interview. Anyway, she made a comment about my ego. But as a joke, I decided to do it again. I had my best friend over and we got wine drunk and wrote a bunch of affirmations to hide. Some were oh god. Some were hold on. Medicine cabinet. My teeth will regrow. I am shark-like and powerful. Kitchen drawers. I know when to spoon, but I also know when to fork. I am sexy and self-assured. Work desk. I will not just fuck my way to the top of the company. I will fuck my way to the top of the whole world. Walk-in closet. I am beautiful with clothes and without, especially without. My boobs are legendary.
Oh, this is great. I am shark-like and powerful.
My boobs are legendary. There were a bunch more, and my friend and I had a hilarious time writing them. Next time my mother-in-law came over, she saw a few, and she didn't acknowledge them to me, even though she definitely started acting a little weird about me. I went to run some errands, and when I was out, she confronted Al about the notes and was trying to tell him that I seemed unstable, egotistical, and moving in was a bad idea. She showed him the notes, and he didn't really know what to make of it. He asked me, and I said that they were just some silly private notes to boost my self-confidence and make myself laugh. How had she gotten them? Had she been going through my things? She said she was just tidying and saw them, and they were real weird. I was like, have you met me? You should know how weird I am. Anyway, if you don't want your mom seeing my weird shit, you gotta stop letting her go through my shit. He asked if I left them on purpose to annoy her, and I admitted that was kind of the joke. But I also have other weirder private shit, so what I said about her needing to stop snooping if she didn't want to find weird crap was still for real. He said I was making stuff hard for him. His mom was really protective of it and adjusting to him moving in with a girlfriend for the first time, and I was agitating her on purpose to make her think I wouldn't be a good partner, when he wanted her to have the opposite impression of me. Am I the asshole for the note prank? Fuck no!
No, your boyfriend needs to stop. Your fiance needs to stop being a mama's boy.
Oh my god. Yeah, top comment from Anti-Fascist. Not the asshole, she's snooping through your home. I'd have gone further and left little notes like, nobody likes to snoop, and you aren't welcome to go through my things, but yours were pretty damn funny. It's a red flag if your fiancé stands up for her invading your privacy like this.
And that's a fascist saying that.
I know, right? OP actually replied to this. Yeah, that's OP.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking a set of butt plugs increasing in size to the absurd would be pretty funny, but pointed notes could be too. God, that'd be funny too. But in my house, it's different, because it's not his stuff there, it's not even our stuff. It's 95% my stuff because I've lived there for 7 years and furnished it and bought everything. And he moved in after selling his furniture and only bringing a closet full of things and some gadgets. So when she's going through the house, it's not his stuff or even shared stuff, she's just going through my shit. And I'm not really cool with that because I don't want my guests helping with my laundry or looking for my dirty mugs. I think on the not funny side of things, I might just sit down and say I've lived alone for 6 years, I live in a way that makes my home feel like a home, and part of that is not keeping anything but the living room and guest bathroom presentable for guests. So I'm uncomfortable with her as my guest going into other rooms without asking or looking at my stuff. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Those notes were fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, not the asshole. You're hilarious.
A+.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, you, I don't like your boyfriend. Hey, you, I think you need a new one.
Hey, you, I can't even say that, no.
That's okay. I will quote Avril Lavigne for the both of us.
You know, I was actually listening to that song while playing Burnout Paradise Remastered, and I crashed.
Yeah, that's the experience.
Moral of the story, listening to Avril Lavigne while driving is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you.
Okay. Am I the asshole for eating a steak in front of my friend's vegan girlfriend?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's time to shit on vegans again.
Woo! It's our favorite pastime.
My friend and I share an apartment. He told me he was going to invite his girlfriend over, and I'm like, whatever. Anyway, she came over around 4 and then started getting into like 5:30, so I was like, I'm going to make myself a steak. And his girlfriend was like, can you please not? I read it as kind of like banter or a joke because it's pretty ridiculous to ask someone who eats meat to not eat meat in their own house.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way, I'm gonna cook this bad boy. And then when I started cooking it, she was like, I'm gonna go. I didn't think she actually would care that much about me eating a steak in front of her. She said she didn't want to look at the meat, and when she left, my friend got mad. Honestly, I don't even know anyone who could possibly care that much or be so grossed out by a steak they have to leave. Am I the asshole? No, you're a base giga chad, and that girl's a fucking vegan whiny bitch.
It's your house and it's your food. Cook your fucking steak, man.
NTA, it's your home. If she doesn't like it, she can do exactly what she did and leave.
Yeah, she made the right decision there.
Fucking vegans, man.
Excuse
Fucking
me,
vegans.
can you not cook food in your own house, please? I'm uncomfortable when you do that.
Can you not?
Can you don't?
Yeah, let's yeah, I just had to get a short little fuck vegans in there.
Fair enough.
Just how it goes, just how it goes. Okay. I think I'll save some of these for next time. I think I'm gonna go to the lightning round if that's okay.
Alright, that's fine. Lightning round. Let's go.
Okay. This is the lightning round where we read unpopular opinions on our unpopular opinion. Are these opinions unpopular or will we agree, disagree? Let's find out.
Today on X-Play.
Today, more unpopular opinions. Unpopular opinion, Shrek and Fiona should have stayed handsome at the end of Shrek 2.
That's literally the antithesis of the point of the movie.
Well, they say, I haven't seen Shrek 2 in a long time. Yeah, makes sense. Rewatching it recently, I can't understand how this ending makes any sense. Yes, the message of you should love yourself for who you are, not how you look is great and all, but it just doesn't apply. They had an opportunity for a free upgrade of no downsides. Why couldn't they love each other for who they were and look handsome at the same time? Literally don't have anything to do but kiss each other a few seconds earlier. I guess DreamWorks couldn't make a movie about how if you think you're ugly, you should become attractive, but I don't care. That's what anyone would do in that situation.
I think they were just comfortable with who they were and they didn't feel like it was necessary to change.
Top comment, Shrek loves being an ogre. He absolutely lives for that shit, and Fiona doesn't seem to hate it either. I agree with your points, but Shrek never wanted to be handsome. He wanted to be an ogre.
Yeah, like there was like the first movie already made the point of Shrek already thinks Fiona's beautiful for being an ogre. That's the whole point. They're already comfortable as that. That's who they are, so they're really just being who they are.
Right.
How do you not get that? That's like friggin' an 8-year-old could understand that shit. Goddamn.
Unpopular opinion, you're not really an adult until you're 28. Well, I guess we're minors, Kevin.
Fuck!
We're minors for the next 9 days.
Or
God,
8 days by the time this podcast goes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, damn, we're minors. Don't loot us.
No. Don't send me pornography. I'll have to call the police.
Oh, no. Anyway, disagree. Honestly, I think the bar keeps getting raised when it probably should stay where it is or get lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I would hate the discourse if this was the case. Unpopular opinion, using location tracking to locate your minor child is not an invasion of privacy, it's basic parenting.
Do you have your kid chipped?
Usually it's the phone that's chipped.
Okay. Like, still, I don't know.
I'm gonna say I disagree, but top comment says just be honest about about the tracking. Please God, transparency is what creates trust.
Yeah, agreed.
Don't hide
that shit from your kid.
Here's the thing. If you want to have tracking in emergency contexts, I kind of get that. But if you're the kind of parent who's going to constantly use the tracking against them to like fucking dictate their behavior, where they go and what they do, then no, that's just being controlling.
Yeah, and don't be that parent. Don't do that.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, employers that ban workplace dating are assholes. A job is the best place to meet like-minded people to start a relationship with. Kevin, did you write this one?
No?
Someone brings up the good point. Typically, it's dating between management and a subordinate that isn't allowed.
Yeah. Like, because there's like an inherent power dynamic there.
But OP says, what if two coworkers happen to be dating and one of them gets promoted? Should they be required to stop dating?
Probably not.
Someone says they should get married to cheat the system.
Yes! Perfect.
Yeah, this thread is a clusterfuck of people are like, I did that one. There's dating coworkers is a bad idea. And people being like, no, OP is right. So, my opinion is, I think places that ban it are assholes, sure. I think that's, again, let people make their own mistakes.
Follow your stupid fucking dreams.
Unpopular opinion, fuck the 2022 Winter Olympics. Countries worldwide should be boycotting the Olympics due to the CCP's ongoing genocide.
Bruh, it's just sports. Calm down.
No, I mean, like, I want to agree, but at the same time, it's like every country has bullshit. So it's like, it's like, don't do anything because there's bigger problems. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, like it's sports, bruh.
Yeah, they're gonna genocide either way, bro. I'm just gonna let you know that.
Let people do sports.
I think there's other ways to go about that. I
Agreed.
think it would be a pretty meaningless, a pretty limp dick power move, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of a, what the fuck is the phrase? A placebo gesture.
Ah, one of your favorite things to complain about.
Yeah, I did that once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion: mint flavored chocolate is one of the best chocolate flavors. That's an unpopular opinion.
That's an unpopular, bruh. That shit's bomb.
Mint chocolate, it slaps. It slaps, Kevin.
Slaps so hard.
Unpopular opinion: it is morally right to pirate old games.
Yes.
Yes, it's morally right to pirate. I fixed it for you.
Factual statement.
Unpopular opinion: having explosive diarrhea feels so good.
Next.
I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it on purpose.
God.
Remember that one green text about the guy who got diarrhea on purpose by licking doorknobs just to solve his constipation?
I mean, it worked, but also why? Remember, licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets.
This guy seems to be subtweeting the other guy who made the argument the brain is fully developed at 25. This guy says, unpopular opinion, the brain is fully developed at 25 is pop science based on one study that no one has ever actually read. It does not mean you are a literal child until 25.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to read this post. It's weird how on Reddit and many other social media sites there's this push of saying you aren't an actual adult until 25 because one study in 2013 says the brain isn't fully developed until 25. Yet almost no one has actually read this study. They heard about it on a news article or from someone else and just keep parodying it like it's scientific fact. Here's the study. If you read the study, it says 25 is the average. It isn't a set-in-stone number for every single person. Most of the study goes into how important brain maturation is influenced by heredity and environment, prenatal, postnatal insult, nutritional status, sleep patterns, pharmacotherapy, surgical interventions during early childhood, furthermore, physical, mental, economical, and physiological stress, drug abuse, sex hormones, including estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, influence the development and maturation of the adolescent brain. So you can see that a whole lot of factors determine when your brain reaches full brain development, if it even does. There are things like drug abuse, even caffeine, poverty, nutrition, genetics, they all determine that. If you grew up in a bad environment, it'll take 25 to 30 years. If you have better conditions, it'll be quicker. It's very possible that for privileged people, 18 to 22 is the age their brain fully develops. Maybe even culture has a factor. I've noticed that Europeans and Asian people act more mature, while us Americans, even middle-aged people, don't. But science isn't you do one study and that's it, you have scientific fact. That's not how science works. You do research and more studies. Another study says neuroimaging research is in its infancy. There was much to be learned about how changes in the brain structure and function relate to adolescent behavior. As of yet, however, neuroimaging studies do not allow a chronologic cut point for behavioral and cognitive maturity at either the individual or population level. So our current technology isn't even advanced enough to let us draw a cutoff point. Maybe in the future they might be able to, but I don't see how we can base 25 as scientific fact. It's really whether a matter of opinion whether 18, 25, or 30 is the true adult age. I think what's going on is more than science. Maybe is this entertaining? Because I'm finding it entertaining.
I'm very entertained right now.
Okay. Maybe young people and certain segments of young adults are infantilizing themselves so they can keep feeling like kids even though they're 23 years old. I really don't see any successful young adults who are living like adults on their own at 18 to 22 doing this. Maybe it's people who aren't reaching maturity milestones. I moved out when I was 18, and so did most people in my age group a few years ago. None of us felt like we were literal children who didn't deserve adult rights. We were annoyed you couldn't drink until 21, while most Europeans could. That also used to be the feeling on Reddit. We can join the army and kill, but we can't have a beer? Now people are unironically want the drinking age to be 25. I think the pandemic has also had an effect on infantilizing young adults. If you were 18 or 19 in 2020 when the pandemic hit, you had almost 1 full year of remote learning at your parents' house, missing out on the first years of adult freedom where you can grow and mature. In my opinion, 18 is fine enough as the youngest adult age. It's worked for decades around the world. I don't see how infantilizing will do any good. I'm sure most people don't actually want to do that. If an 18-year-old murdered your family member or raped you, no one is going to think, well, he's just a literal baby. Maybe just give him juvenile hall for 2 years. They're going to say they're mature enough to know better. There's really no argument outside your opinion that maybe 30 to 35 should be the adult age, but do we really want to live at home and not being able to do anything until 30? I also wonder if this is an American or British thing. Is this a trend outside America? Thanks for reading my wall of text.
Your wall of text was very, very engaging and insightful.
Yeah, you get... This is a common thing like fucking aunties bring up, so I feel like it's relevant to the bakagaijinshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like, again, it's one study and the technology is still very new. But also... Here's the thing, though, is that I think I might have said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it for my entire fucking life. And that is that, like, this is not a binary, you know? It's not like you're child 1 minute and then the clock strikes midnight and you're an adult now.
Yeah.
It's a gradual process. There are stages to it. It's a fluid thing, and I feel like trying to make the big deal about mental ages and when someone's truly an adult or whatever is just fucking nonsense. And like, because people can be immature babies into their fucking 60s. So like, what is it all like? What matters is behavior and cognition, not necessarily any arbitrary numbers.
I agree.
You know, like I think a 15, 16-year-old could be an adult. I also think a 55-year-old could be a literal fucking baby. Like, it's all fucking fluid. You know?
Yep.
Everyone's different. Everyone's got different factors and experiences that determine maturity. And I feel like reducing it to a pure numbers game is really convenient for some people who want to just go around and argue about things. But in actuality, is just complete nonsense.
Yeah, like, the whole thing about, like, age and maturity is... It is a complicated system because it's just, like... People are trying to simplify something that has a wide degree of variability and nuance from person to person. You by definition, cannot do that.
Mm-hmm. And this is a great example of how it's easy to make up shit and it's hard to explain it away, because people will say this shit and you can't even argue with them because you have to go on a whole fucking thesis to even get to the point where you're like, to explain why this is a stupid mentality to have.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're like, too long, didn't read. Lol.
Too long, didn't read. Also, you're a pedophile. It's like, okay, okay, that's fine. You just keep peddling your pseudoscience bullshit. It's fine.
Man, for something called Lightning Round, this particular post went on for a while.
Well, it was a good post, Kevin.
It was, and I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying, wow, wasn't expecting that.
That happens sometimes.
It does.
That happens. Yep.
And it's okay.
Unpopular opinion, tall people should be able to ask short people to get products off the lower shelves for them. I agree. Bending over all the time is bad for your back. I agree. I agree, Kevin. What say you?
It can hurt. It can hurt. It can be very hurt. I've hurt my back.
I just think we should all help each other, Kevin. Short people, low shelves, tall people, high shelves. Like everyone should do their part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unpopular
it's
opinion.
Equality.
Unpopular opinion. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin costume looks cool.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
I think the primary complaint is that he looks like a tokusatsu villain, but like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Like, those movies are already kind of hokey and campy to start with, and they're just leaning into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I don't want GTA 6. I want Bully 2. Why not both? Both is good.
Both is good.
Both is good. Unpopular opinion. A good rapper should be able to sing without auto-tune, obviously. Watch Sideways video on auto-tune.
Yeah, that's a complicated subject. Oof.
Unpopular opinion. Beans on toast is a heaven-sent food.
Didn't we
British.
Didn't we literally have a conversation about this in a previous lightning round about how, like, the beans that we get over here in America are different from the beans that they get over in Britain?
Yeah. Not just different in flavor, they're also different in quantity. They apparently have a size can that we don't have that exists in between the sizes of cans we have that is apparently just perfect for putting on a piece of toast or two.
Huh.
So, yeah. So that's part of the reason why it developed there.
British.
Anyway, yeah, British. Anyway, unpopular opinion, Tangled deserves more attention than Frozen and every other Disney animated movie that came after. Untrue, Wreck-It Ralph exists.
Exactly. I was about to say.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph is the real gem of the new Disney Renaissance.
I do think they are correct in that it's a shame that Frozen became the massive cultural phenomenon and not Tangled.
Yeah, I know.
But
Rapunzel's way cuter.
yeah, what can you do?
My goodness, the children are screaming right now.
They heard that you were talking shit about Frozen.
You know what? All right.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, crispy snacks like popcorn are better left out exposed to air for a couple of days. No, that's how they get stale, you fucking idiot.
You like stale food. You're weird.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, too many songs are about love and relationships. Counterpoint, too many songs on the radio are about love and relationships. Yeah. This is one of those, they don't make good games anymore. No, you just don't look for them.
Yeah, if you want the good music, you need to look for the good music. You can't let the good music come to you.
I recommend listen to Jonathan Colton. He has a lot of songs about a lot of weird things. Anyway,
listen to The Lonely Island. I threw it on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, not that one.
My dad's not a phone.
Unpopular opinion, shows become terrible when the writers start listening to the fans. They absolutely can.
They can, it's not that they always do.
Yeah, I do think in general that's true, but like they have to know what they're doing. If they know what they're doing, yeah, don't listen to your fans. Fans are stupid. But if they, like, sometimes criticism needs to be heard. It's contextual.
It is, yeah.
It's contextual. Unpopular opinion, Thin Mints are the worst flavor of all the Girl Scout cookies. Oh my god, that is an unpopular opinion.
I'll fight you.
I will fight you on the side of the street.
In front of the Girl Scouts.
Yep. Congrats on the actually unpopular opinion, though.
Gonna give you a little medal there.
Okay, this one. Okay, I hope there's a post to go along to explain this. Okay. It said unpopular opinion, drinking isn't fun, but he's actually talking about alcohol. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought he just meant like in general. I'm like, no, I love drinking.
As someone who does enjoy his occasional alcoholic beverage, I can't relate.
I like drinking like liquids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. Yeah. Like I get what he's. Yeah. I don't like the culture of drinking alcohol either. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
Liquids though. Liquids.
Now I'm not an alcoholic. I can literally stop whenever I want. I've literally stopped whenever I want.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Nobody even said that. It's weird that she had to bring that
But
up.
it's nice. It's nice every now and then, just not gonna drink back every now and then. It's cool.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, I wish we actually had vigilantes exist in real life. Yeah, I miss Phoenix Jones too, man. Very entertaining.
Bring him back.
Yeah.
Bring back real life Batman.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, pickled gas station sausages are good. What are you talking about? What is this? What are these?
What the fuck?
I know of gas station sausages.
I know of gas station pickles, like the pickles in a bag, but sausages? What?
I don't know what you're talking about, so I have no idea.
Jesse,
what
the fuck are you talking about?
Unpopular opinion, in my opinion, there has not been a single good live-action Batman movie.
I can see why you'd think that.
Yeah. Here's what I think there's no definitive good live-action Batman movie. I think they're all divisive because they all take the character and the universe into very distinct directions.
There's also just different movies that focus on different things about the Batman universe. Some of them are more focused on the villains. Others are more focused on, like, the personality of Bruce Wayne over Batman. Others are focused on Batman over Bruce Wayne. Some are campier, some are darker, some have more of a stylistic approach. Others are more realistic.
They explain in the post, I don't think any of the live-action Batman movies are actually good Batman movies. I think most of them are fine movies, especially The Dark Knight is just great, but they don't feel like Batman to me, not one of them. Begins gets close, and that and The Dark Knight are my two favorite Batman movies, but they're still off. They just don't feel quite right. Begins definitely feels the most like Batman to me. It's still a bit off, and I really hate all the other movies. I know this opinion's very strange, and just because I don't like when things have changed too much, but I don't like most of these movies. They just don't capture what Batman is to me.
Question, does OP like Mask of the Phantasm?
He said live action, so...
I know, but I'm trying to feel for what he likes here.
Oh, okay, he said, the animated movies are gold. They're great. And the animated shows are good, too. I just don't like the live-action ones, because they're all so different from the comics, or just don't capture what I like about the comics.
And that's totally fair. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. Yeah, because, like, I feel like... Yeah, I just feel like all the live-action Batman movies are so divergent. They don't quite capture the heart of Batman the same way like the Raimi trilogy did, you know, for like, Spider-Man.
For Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I get what they're saying. Yeah. They can be good movies, but they aren't necessarily good Batman. I agree. Especially because when I think about what Batman is to me, I don't think any of the movies have really captured that, you know, like the classic fucking Kevin Conroy ass Batman. None of the movies really get there.
Yeah.
They always, yeah. They all, yeah. Maybe the new one will change that, or at least it'll be good on its own right. I don't know.
It'll be an interesting take on Batman, that's for damn sure.
It might be a good take on Batman, but again, even that is like, it's definitely its own divergent thing again, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, I need the context for this one. Unpopular opinion, speed limits should be raised. According to traffic engineering, we follow the 85th percentile, which means we set speed limits based on how fast 85% of traffic is driving on the road in the US. It's become so prevalent to go slightly over the speed limit, we should just think, if we can go 5 or 10 over the limit, I won't get pulled over. But this also gives justification for people that go 15 to 20 over the limit. The definition of limit is a point or level beyond which something does not or may not extend or pass. My argument is to make some slack by upping speed limits no more than 20%, then cracking down hard for anyone that decides to go over at all. I disagree. I think our current system actually works as you want to intend, because we have a speed limit that's slightly too slow, but we also know that most people are going to go 5 to 10 over it.
Yeah. So
it already does what you want it to.
Yeah, the system already works. Don't mess with it.
Yeah, if you raise it, they're just going to go even faster. You can say, "Oh, we'll crack down harder," but like that's harder to do than the reason the system works now is, or well, as much as it can, is because it does sort of take into account that natural human behavior.
Yeah.
Whereas if your argument is, well, we could raise it to what it actually is and then just crack down harder, that's harder to actually do. It's not as natural. So yeah, I think you're wrong. I think it works the way you want it to already. That said, we should build more trains. More train
infrastructure.
More rail, more subways, more trams, less cars. Anyway. Unpopular opinion, cheap crackers are better than artisanal crackers. Yes. Artisanal crackers suck. They're always not good.
Give me my fucking Ritz, baby.
Yeah, give me some Ritz or those Keebler Club crackers.
Oh God, I fucking love Club crackers.
Yeah.
Especially,
I don't know what the fuck.
Especially
I don't know what the fuck. Go on.
With like the friggin' cheese whiz on it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know what club it is, but I want to join.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, MySpace having all these kids learn very basic coding was probably the closest we'll get to willingly learning on social media. That is something I miss about Web 2.0 is the fact that you had it was little things, but you had shit like MySpace page customization and BB code forums where like people had to learn at least some basic computer literacy, but now apps just automate everything to button presses and it's bad. Yeah. The new internet sucks.
I'm gonna have to say, not a fan.
Unpopular opinion, Uncrustables have way too much peanut butter.
You eat Uncrustables?
OP is literally 6 years old. No, I agree, but the reason they do that is because it's cheaper than the jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you be an adult and make your own sandwiches?
Yeah.
I assure you it's more cost effective that way too.
You could even make them just like the Uncrustables. Just get like a circular thing and just right on top of the bread.
Yeah.
Boom. Done.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, unsweetened kombucha tastes good. Hipster. Unpopular opinion, SCP is better than FNAF. Yes, but I'm not sure why you're comparing them.
They spoopy.
I guess. Unpopular opinion, clowns are fun and cute and should be brought back to mainstream media as fun instead of horrifying. OP is a clown.
A literal clown.
No, I kind of agree, actually. I think that, look, both. I like both. I like fun clowns. I like horrifying clowns, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's the dichotomy that makes both sides work.
Yes.
Unpopular opinion, eggs are just bad. No. Unpopular opinion, chicken tenders are better cold than reheated in the microwave.
What the fuck?
No, here's the thing. I understand what they're talking about if it's like a very specific, not like cold, but like sort of just like cooled. I get what they're saying.
Okay.
I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like room temperature chicken tendies. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Okay,
I agree.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, subtitles while watching TV are awesome. Well, we're anime fans, so we're a little biased, but yeah.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, whoever said baths are like sitting in your own filth is delusional. They clean you just as well as showers. Did you write this one?
Maybe.
Are you user gay Venus? Kevin, you're wrong. You're sitting in your own filth.
It's like this post was made for me. You're wrong, Zeke. You're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Welcome to the Bakagaijinshow show. We hate each other.
No, we don't.
Unpopular opinion, front row cinema seats not so bad. OP has a neck injury. No, you're just this guy is Stockholm syndrome
You know,
for movie theaters.
I always position myself like near the middle of the theater, so like the movie does fill my like my like general vision, but like I'm not careening my head all across the friggin' screen just so I can see what's going on. Like, if I can see what's going on just by looking straight forward, it's a good seat.
Unpopular opinion: people who think they don't need anyone else are not cool. They're crying for help. Shut up, Mom. You don't know me.
It's not a phase.
Ugh.
You'll never understand my sorrow.
Unpopular opinion: stop shaming people for getting scammed or cheated. It depends on the context, because sometimes people really do be fucking stupid.
Yeah. Like, if you get into NFTs, you're pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Troy!
I can't wait till he backs out of it.
Yeah, give it time.
Okay, how many times do we have to go through this whole fucking narrative of getting into NFTs and then pulling out due to backlash before we acknowledge if you exist on the internet, you have to have seen this narrative play out by now.
How many times are we going to have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Like, can we just be at the point where like people just aren't allowed to claim ignorance on this anymore?
Yeah, I feel like there's there's enough information out there for you to easily be able to figure out how much of a scam these are and whether or not you really want to buy into it. I love how Troy Baker was like, it's like, I have a story to tell, and no.
Create, not hate, Kevin.
I can do both at the same time. I can multitask. Jeez.
Unpopular opinion: shitting is fun. Stop posting here.
Shitting is fun.
Unpopular opinion.
Hold on, I'm just imagining this dude just closed bathroom door, just hearing just shitting noise, and he goes, "Woo!"
Unpopular opinion: I love the smell of raw meat in the butcher's market.
Yeah, that was a good voice for that.
OP is a tiger.
OP is a tiger. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Here's the thing. Fresh raw meat smells okay. But, like, after it's sat out for a while...
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion: I prefer Krispy Kreme donuts cold and old and not fresh off the donut press. As someone who routinely gets the day-old donuts for discount, yes, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, both are fine, but, like, you learn to appreciate a day-old donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unpopular opinion: the Big Bang Theory writers and producers hated geek culture. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. I'm trying to find a good one to end on. Jesus.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion: Big Bang Theory sucks. Is that really unpopular?
There's two right next to each other that, shockingly, I feel like one was a response to the other, but one came first, so it doesn't make any sense. Because one's like, I highly dislike diagonally cut food, and someone's like, cutting sandwiches into 4 triangles is the best. But that one came first. So what? Oh no, maybe this guy's responding to this guy. Well, he didn't get any comments though, so everyone just ignored him.
Well,
Don't worry,
that
we
guy,
won't ignore you.
guess.
Yeah, stop subtweeting on Reddit, asshole. That's not how that works.
Stop Wait, I can't call it subredditing.
Subredditing. Unpopular opinion: Neosporin is the best chapstick?
What? The thing you clean cuts with?
Is that safe? Can you do that?
I don't know if it is. That sounds unsafe. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Unpopular opinion: Lilo and Stitch was such an underrated show from Disney. Yes, actually, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the TV series? Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah.
Remember when it was crossed over with Recess and the Proud Family and also Kim Possible? The Disney Channel cinematic universe.
It crossed over with Kim Possible?
It did.
I don't remember that.
It was great.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna end on that. There's nothing else good here.
Okay,
it's
good.
just like I think a movie is good. Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Yep. That's it. Lightning round over. Some of those were actually unpopular for once.
Yeah, like the fucking Girl Scout cookie bar. I'll fight you for Thin Mints, bitch.
We started with a guy who didn't understand Shrek 2. So there's that.
I don't understand basic children's media.
Why are they ugly? They could have been handsome.
Why are they ugly? They could be pretty.
Anyway, if you want to listen to people who do understand the complex, nuanced themes of Shrek 2, you should keep listening to the Baka Gaijin Show. We post episodes regularly. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. You can also email us at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com or join our official Discord server, link in the description. You can follow us on Twitter at ZekeFreak and at CTremander_K. And you can also have a good day, I guess. You can do that.
We would prefer it if you did.
Yeah. Nobody likes a bad day, unless you're... And if you do, you should post it to our unpopular opinion, and we'll read it and make fun of you.
Having depression is amazing.
Yeah, the Baka Gaijin Show. The bottled water you get when you don't want to get out of bed. That's a good enough note to end on. Zeke freak out. Ciao, ciao for now.